Youth Hockey Hub presents Friday Night Ice. Brought to you by Luther Automotive. Top teams facing off in big games under the lights. Friday Night Ice, the state of hockey's brightest tradition. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, welcome to Bloomington Ice Garden. Friday Night Ice Season 3 about to get underway, and we got a treat on tap for you today. The top-ranked Rogers Royals taking on the number 6-ranked St. Thomas Academy Cadets. I am one very small part of the Friday Night Ice team. My name is Peter Odney. I'm here with my co-host, Tony Scott. Tony, how are we feeling?
I'm feeling great. We put this thing together over a year ago, and it's all coming into place right now, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
It is a beautiful thing to see. Two sort of opposite styles going head-to-head tonight. We're going to get into Rogers first.
Yep.
Now, this Rogers team led from the back end, 2 Division I commits with more in the pipeline. Tell us a little bit about these Royals on the blue line.
Well, the two that are committed, Jackson Smith Connect and Nolan Geardes, are complete opposites. One's tall, strength of the team, motivator, and then you got Nolan Geardes, who's the athlete. I mean, he can do it all out there. He's going to be playing fourth forward all night tonight for the Royals. But the guy I really like is a kid named Matthew Hauser from Rogers. He's the most complete defenseman. He might be the best defenseman in the state. He's got all the tools. He's got the bloodlines. His father was the goaltender at the University of Minnesota. I'm excited to watch Matthew Hauser finish out his career his next 2 years at Rogers.
Well, I wonder how goaltender father Adam feels about having his son skate out. Now, another defender I would like to throw in there is Jaden Kurtz. This kid is oozing with potential, both offensively and defensively, for this Rogers team.
He's like the jackknife. He's got every tool in the book. He's offensive, he's defensive, he's got length. He can do it all. Jaden Kurtz is just the same kind of player as Hauser. He can do it both good on both sides of the ice.
Well, this Rogers coaching staff done an outstanding job with this defensive core. They can fill so many different roles. We just heard it from you: athleticism, physical play, and now we're going to hear a little bit more about Rogers' Ministers of Defense.
In hockey, the pretty players, goal-getters, and showstoppers end up with all the headlines. On a rare occasion, a Minnesota high school team will have a couple Division I blue liners. This year, Rogers already has 2 on their roster, Jackson Smith Connect and Nolan Geardes, with the potential for 2 or 3 more in the future.
Our D-core is the backbone of our team. We have 5 returning guys with 2 D1 commits and Smith Connect and Geardes, and we have another guy, Sinclair, who went to Natty Camp and went to Sioux City in the fall. And yeah, we're excited, and we got a lot of underrated guys too that are on the come up and I think are really good hockey players for the future.
Who wouldn't be excited to see these 6 take the ice? When the Royals are firing on all cylinders, it all starts from the back.
So when we're playing our best, our D-core really just snaps the puck around, and they bring the energy on the bench. Mostly comes from our back end.
When not distributing the puck or running the power play, the Rogers defenders make their physical presence felt on both ends of the ice.
We are coached to be very aggressive defensively, and when we're clicking, we have lots of confidence and step up in the right times and get the puck back to the right areas of the ice.
Each of the 6 brings a different weapon to Coach Dave Brown's arsenal. Western Michigan commit Nolan Geardes can do it all.
Nolan Geardes, as a hockey player, is a magician. I don't know how he does it, but with the puck sometimes he just goes into 2 guys and just somehow comes out with it. He always has the puck on his stick, always making the right play.
The most versatile guy of the bunch is converted forward Jaden Kurtz.
His offensive game too is elite, which I think he got from forward, and he can create some plays from the D zone, neutral zone, and O zone.
Colorado College commit Jackson Smith Connect energizes the team with his size and skill.
He can skate, he can do all the little things well, and when he's on the ice and he's on, the whole team's on.
The nightmares for opposing coaches aren't just limited to Division I bound Royal defenders. Matthew Hauser is a skating Freddy Krueger.
He's a great hockey player because he's got the slickest hands on the team, and his hockey IQ is through the roof, so he's always making right plays, he's holding the fort down in the back end, and when he gets his chances, he capitalizes.
If Rogers makes its first trip to state in 2025, you can bookmark your hymnals. Their Ministers of Defense will be doing the preaching.
They'll tell you If you stay and play high school hockey, you won't make it to the next level. They rarely talk about how special it is to play for your community. To represent where you came from, to wear your school's colors, working one-on-one with coaches, and best of all, playing with your best friends. It can be difficult to know if you're hitting the mark. But when you're hitting the mark, you'll know. Custom hockey jerseys proudly made in the USA.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. You here to pick up my truck?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that was easy. Yeah, I knew Luther buys cars, but I had no idea it was this simple and convenient. Is there anything you guys don't do?
Not really.
Will you buy any car?
Yeah.
Even that one?
Even that one.
Wow, you do it all.
Luther Auto, over 40 locations and one of the region's largest inventories. Luther Auto, we do it all.
They'll tell you.
Wow, fantastic work by our videographer, Matt Jasper,
stay and
on
play
that
high
story
school
about
hockey,
Rogers. Now, Tony, let's talk a little bit about St. Thomas Academy. We have the shiny
you won't
new
make
toy
it to the
Rogers
next level.
taking on the shiny patent leather of St. Thomas Academy, a 100-year-old military institution. Tell me a little bit about how these styles might play.
Well, I think we're going to learn a lot about St. Thomas today. The way they play hockey is the same way they go to school. They're militaristic. They're going to be well-disciplined. They're going to be a well-oiled machine. I think they're going to be listening really well to the new coach, Coach Strobel, tonight.
And do you believe that discipline will pay more dividends on special teams, especially on the penalty kill?
I hope to see that. I want to see a lot of goals tonight. So yeah, I hope that's the case.
We do hope that's the case, and now is a perfect time for you to learn a little bit more about the St. Thomas Academy military lifestyle in an academic setting.
I am a St. Thomas Academy cadet. I pledge to uphold the school's brotherhood, integrity, and diligence. I will love God, help my neighbor, and serve those in need.
I will be loyal to my nation and always strive to be an outstanding citizen. I will support, respect, and aid my fellow cadets always. I will seek excellence and always work towards a brighter future.
I will honor the legacy of this institution and those who have come before me. I am a St. Thomas Academy cadet, and I will always abide by this creed. Whoa.
In 1885, St. Paul Archbishop John Ireland pursued a vision for providing boys theological and university studies by gathering 66 students into a military program under the name of the St. Thomas Seminary Military Battalion, which would ultimately emerge into St. Thomas Military Academy.
This dates back over 100 years with the military aspect at the academy, and it's really what makes everything special there too. The uniforms, the just towing the line of having to be accountable as somebody more than yourself.
Cadet Second Lieutenant Will Doshin, 1st Platoon Leader Bravo Company.
Cadet Second Lieutenant Michael Mikan, 3rd Platoon Leader Echo Company.
I'm Cadet Captain Patrick Cronin, Foxtrot and Company Commander.
St. Thomas is the only military-focused academy in Minnesota. The moniker cadet isn't just a nickname, it's a way of life. STA students are in full uniform every school day. The military structure at STA defines roles and responsibilities, provides leadership opportunities, and encourages sound decision-making.
So when I arrived at St. Thomas Academy as a freshman, I was a good hockey player, but leaving St. Thomas, I feel I'll be a great hockey player because of just the discipline I've learned here.
Every day, the cadets learn to take orders before earning the authority to command their peers. This mentality not only pays off in the classroom, but also on the ice.
So as a company commander, I have to address my company, make sure we're all on the same page, let them know what we're doing each week. And the same goes as the captain of the hockey team. I have to address the team sometimes, let them know what we're going to do each day, let them know what drills we're doing, and the systems. We all got to be on the same page with that stuff too.
STA returns 8 of its top 10 scorers from last season and one of the state's best goaltenders. With a strong set of standards, backed by over a century of discipline, and led by a new coach with decades of junior and collegiate hockey experience, we're expecting big things in the future for the cadets. Hooah!
Everyone knows Luther does it all, but did you know you can do it all? At home?
I just sold my car.
On your phone?
I just got pre-approved. I just scheduled an oil change.
Whenever, wherever.
I just bought a new car.
Anything and everything, whenever and wherever. LutherAuto.com. You can do it all.
Hockey's a very unique sport. I would say it has this blend of toughness and athleticism, but by and large, really creativity. You have lots of great athletes, but you don't have lots of great hockey players, and the biggest separator is what they call hockey IQ, or intelligence, and that's the ability to really process information quickly, make decisions.
In life, we all need a little help to reach our summit. Whatever your summit looks like, it's easier to reach when your body is strong and healthy. At Summit Orthopedics, our team of highly specialized physicians listens to and values every one of our patients. We take a conservative approach to care to get you back to your healthy and active lifestyle. Reach your summit. Summit Orthopedics. Visit summitortho.com to make an appointment today.
Is your business ready to tackle today's IT and cybersecurity challenges? At Cyber Advisors, we specialize in keeping companies secure and running smoothly. From proactive cybersecurity solutions to 24/7 IT support, we're here to help. Visit cyberadvisors.com/hockey for a free discovery call.
Well, now that we know almost everything about these teams, it's time to hear from the Rogers head coach, Dave Brown. He discussed with YHH's Marissa Voss how his defense plans to attack this St. Thomas Academy high-flying offense.
Yeah, I was in the interview room when it was going on. He was just talking. He was really excited. You could just feel that he was pumped up about this game and see the maturation of this senior class and what they've become.
All righty, let's hear from Rogers head coach Dave Brown with, as I mentioned, YHH's Marissa Voss.
Marissa Voss alongside Dave Brown, who is the head coach for Rogers for Friday Night Ice, presented by Luther Auto. Now, Dave, you guys are 3-0, and you are facing STA, who is 2-0. What does that game plan look like, as you guys are a defensive squad, as STA is more of an offensive squad? How do you kind of contain that?
Yeah, they got a good top six forwards. They got two lines that can create off the rush. I don't think we've seen a lot of teams that have tried to create off the rush against us this season. So we've talked a bit about defending their offensive players and being good in the neutral zone. I think we're pretty connected right now in all three zones. So, just making sure we know that they have an offensive firepower that can capitalize and transition pretty well. And I think as long as we know that, mistakes are going to happen. So, our goalie's played good, so we can keep leaning on him too.
Your first three contests, you guys have only allowed 5 goals. What has been the keys to such lockdown defense for the Rogers squad?
Yeah, I think there's a big-time commitment right now at the overall team chemistry. And I think when you have consistency and some structure in your game, it's going to be hard for other teams to generate scoring chances and gain confidence. And I just think we have a real good puck support and a connectedness on the ice. And when you have those things, you're not going to make it very easy to give up some great A's. So I think tonight's a huge challenge in that category, but I think we're ready for it.
How important do you think it is to start off really hot, skate fast, get a couple goals in the first and second periods to get that edge over STA?
Yeah, obviously it's a neutral site here, so I think both teams will be looking for a good first period, like a road period. We'll probably try to keep things simple, just so they don't get any momentum with those high power forwards. But we got some guys that can wheel a little bit too, and I think they rise to these types of moments. They usually play good in these types of events, and I think our guys are really excited to play against a team that we know has a similar caliber of firepower. And the game might open up a bit tonight, so when it does, Coach Brown might have to close his eyes for a couple minutes, but it's going to be an electric atmosphere and a fast-paced game, and I think our guys are going to really enjoy that opportunity.
Now you have 4 D1 commits on this squad, very talented. And Tony tells me that you have been watching them kind of grow throughout their career to where they are now as this team. How does that feel, though, as a head coach, to see where they were and where they have landed?
Yeah, they're all unique in different ways. They're all committed to different types of schools, and we have a lot of deep talent on this team. And I think, when you get 1, you get 2, you get 3, you get 4, they motivate each other, they drive each other. I'm sure when it's all said and done, this group is going to have quite a few of them. And, right now, utilizing their strengths for the betterment of the team has probably been the biggest maturation process we've had. But, I remember driving to the Big Pumpkin and watching a lot of these guys on the Pee Wee team, my first year on the Rogers staff, and just seeing them yin and yang all over the rink, and sometimes they find plays that you don't even see on the bench. And I think allowing them to play with that creativity is important, and it's fun to see how much they've matured recently to be committed to team success too.
Well, thank you so much, Dave, for stopping by, and good luck in this game against STA Friday Night Ice, presented by Luther Auto.
Thanks.
Welcome back, folks. We've discussed the opposite styles of these two teams. There are a couple other key matchups we'd like to get into. Tony, Rogers comes into this game battle-tested, having played Andover, Shakopee, and White Bear Lake, 3 very good teams. Rogers comes in having played 2 teams that maybe aren't so good.
St. Thomas.
St. Thomas,
Yeah.
excuse
It's
me.
all right.
Tartan and Eastview defeating those teams by a combined 22-2 score. What do you think we'll see here? This is the first big game for St. Thomas, and this is old hat for Rogers.
I think it's a huge test for St. Thomas. We will not have seen the speed that they're going to see in that first line tonight with DeShane, Keaton Weiss, and Mason Jensen. I saw them last Saturday night. It's a treat to watch. I'm just telling you right now, that'll be what they're going to be up against with that first group from Rogers tonight.
Well, that St. Thomas defense might need to throw a couple of hits, play a little bit physical, and let the Rogers forwards know that they will not simply have their way with the St. Thomas defense. On the other side, coaching experience here. Dave Brown's been with Rogers for several years now. Mark Strobel, a whole new staff at St. Thomas Academy. How does that dynamic play out on the ice?
I think, Coach Brown's been at Rogers so long, I'm not sure they're listening as well as Coach Strobel. This is their second game. This is their first game under the big lights here. I think the St. Thomas kids will come in highly disciplined and ready to go.
All righty. Now, that sounds like it might be an indictment on the coaching staff at Rogers and on the players at Rogers if they're not listening. Well, we've taken up far more time than we deserve of yours. This is Tony and Peter signing off from the Friday Night Ice studio. Game action coming at you in just a few minutes.
Weren't you supposed to lead him to Strobel?
They'll tell you, if you stay and play high school hockey, you won't make it to the next level. They rarely talk about how special it is to play for your community. To represent where you came from, to wear your school's colors, working one-on-one with coaches, and best of all, playing with your best friends. It can be difficult to know if you're hitting the mark. But when you're hitting the mark, you'll know.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Custom
I jumped
hockey
the gun
jerseys probably
just
made
a
in the
touch
USA.
there. We're going to hear from St. Thomas Academy new
With an
head coach,
injection.
Mr. Mark Strobel, about his team and what it means to him to be guiding the cadets in his new role.
Marissa Voss alongside head coach for STA, Mark Strobel. And we are at Friday Night Ice presented by Luther. You guys are taking on Rogers, 2 undefeated teams. You guys are 2-0, the Rogers are 3-0. What is the game plan like to kind of get some goals? You guys have an offensive team versus a very defensive team like Rogers.
Yeah, well, first of all, we have a lot of respect for them. I've watched them on video. They have a lot of very skilled players. I think they're fast. They're very active defensemen. So for us, we need to stay in our structure, especially through the neutral zone. We're going to have to be very disciplined and play in units of 5. Our goal is to get pucks back. So take backs, retrievals quick, come up the ice together. But I think the neutral zone will be really key in this game tonight, making sure their D don't beat our forwards back up ice, especially on our defensive track. I think once we can grab a puck from them, go back the other way, we transition really quick, and that's kind of been the style I want to play, is possess a puck, re-attack quickly from defense to offense, and hopefully we can catch them maybe with too many men up the ice, and we can have odd man numbers heading their way.
How important is it for you guys to start the game as fast as you can, skate as fast as you can, and try to get some goals so you can get that advantage heading into either the second period or just hold that advantage over them?
Well, you know, it's still a work in progress. And again, no disrespect to the teams we've played. They've been good teams. You know, we've had some fortuitous bounces. We've had some power play goals. You know, we've had some guys, you know, get some puck luck going. This will be a test for us on both sides of the puck, and everything from face-offs, knowing our jobs in all zones, but again, respecting what they have, but also, you know, they haven't played a team like us either. So I think it'll be well matched. I think you're probably looking at a 1-goal game either way, but it'll come down to details. It'll be coming down to blocking shots, executing on special teams. The biggest thing for us too, and the thing I really harped on our guys 2 days ago in practice and then before we came over, is discipline. You're gonna have to take a hit to make a play. We're gonna have to pressure their D with, you know, body contact, but not cheap shots or any stupid penalties. Just lower your shoulder, get a bump. And again, our whole game, my philosophy is to have possession and to stay in movement with the O-zone. And when we don't have it, to sprint to get it back in units of 5 and then back up the ice where we possess it. And I think we've done a good job so far, but for us, this will really kind of give me, as a coach, kind of a parameter and a barometer of where we're at.
Yeah, and you were talked about you as a coach. This is also your first year at STA, third game so far. How has that been to kind of start new and try to assert yourself as this coach, and what is your mentality like?
No, it's been great. You know, it's been very focused. It's been, you know, a lot of fun. But again, I think some of the details of the game, these kids are absorbing, and just from my experience in places I've been and being around good head coaches, and I've always kind of tended to have more of a head coach personality. You know, I'm very grateful, and just I think units of 5 as I go back to, and just having fun in practice and teaching skill development, and then letting them be themselves within that framework. You'll see some of that tonight, but it's been a lot of fun for me. You know, the accountability and discipline that the academy already adheres to when you step in the building, just it transfers over to the hockey rink, and I've adapted to that, and I think they've adapted to me with that. But you know, it's got to be fun first, and we're going to work hard, and we're going to be physical without penalties, but we're going to be skilled. We want to make plays. We want to have the fans sit and say, boy, those guys are fun to watch.
Hopefully you guys are fun to watch tonight, and good luck out there against Rogers for Friday night ice.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
They'll tell you, if you stay and play high school hockey, you won't make it to the next level. They rarely talk about how special it is to play for your community. To represent where you came from, to wear your school's colors, working one-on-one with coaches, and best of all, playing with your best friends. It can be difficult to know if you're hitting the mark. But when you're hitting the mark, you'll know. Custom hockey jerseys proudly made in the USA.
And at forward number 7, senior Mason Jensen. Now let's welcome out the rest of the Royals. Royals assistant coaches are Russ Orrock, Isaac Fondrick, and Jonas Donsky. The head coach for the Rogers Royals is David Brown. Tonight's officials are linesman Jake Kniff. Referees are Randy Best and Dan Stumpf. Fans, we now ask that you please stand as you are able and remove your caps for the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
Bloomington Ice Garden. It's the inaugural Friday night ice of the 2024-25 high school hockey season. Jeff Paperswift and I'm joined by the one, the only, Tony Scott, my friend. We are here for another year, and it's going to be fun tonight.
You sound like you're describing an ex-con who's been out there in the world, you know, like with the dubious distinction, dubious past, you know, the one and only. You know, Jesse James or something like that. Hopefully I'm the Jesse James of hockey here in Minnesota. We're just letting people have a lot of fun out here and enjoy a good hockey game tonight.
It should be a good one. Number 1 versus number 6 in the Youth Hockey Hub rankings. Rogers 3-0. They've already defeated Andover. They've already defeated Shakopee. They're off to a good start, and they're an excellent team.
And a really good White Bear Lake team.
Yes,
too.
and White Bear. Yep.
This was not Edina was the preseason number 1, and they lost to Moorhead last Saturday. So Rogers beat Shakopee, who was number 3 in the state. So they earned their way to number 1 here. This isn't some we didn't push this up to make it a number 1 state. They earned their way here, and they're gonna really get tested today against St. Thomas Academy.
St. Thomas Academy already with 18 players with at least 1 point in their first 2 games, 15-1 over Tartan to start the season. They can score. They can do everything well.
Yeah, this is going to be offense versus defense. We talked about it. The 6 defensemen for Rogers are really going to tell the tale of tonight's game.
All right, we are ready to go. Rogers in the light uniform, St. Thomas Academy in the dark. Blue and white going both ways, and we are underway as play is in the Rogers zone from the faceoff. Winds up in the far corner, and now rung around behind the net to the near side, Jaden Kurtz.
It almost looks like inter-squad scrimmage, doesn't it, with the
kind of
royal
does.
uniforms?
You might get confused from time to time. Here's Jackson Smithneck behind the goal, feeding the far wall, and now it winds up running towards the blue line and out to center. Backhanded ahead by Tommy Kurtz for the Cadets, and finally shot into the zone right on to the goaltender, Cody Neeson. One of the goaltender's numbers at the first stoppage here with 30 seconds gone in the first period. Cleared around on the near side and out to center. Rogers in control. Matty Hauser over to the left. That's picked off, and here comes Nico Russ into the slot area, but he is headed off. And now out to center. Patch Cronin, the captain now, playing it into the zone for the Cadets, and now it winds up loose to center ice and controlled by Jensen for Rogers, but only momentarily. Now played in by Will Dosen, who's already got 5 goals and 8 points this season. Now the Royals pick it out. First minute gone in this contest, and here they come with Jensen. They're over the St. Thomas Academy line. Jensen is forced wide there and behind the net by Richardson as the puck rings the boards and comes out to center. Now played ahead, and the Cadets in. Jackson Rude takes the shot, and he goes wide of the near post. Crashing in there is Richardson, and now played to the right edge and put in front by Jackson Rude, and it clears off to the boards on the far side. Duchesne out to center, carrying on. Keaton Weiss plays it in as Rogers gets a change. Cleared around on the boards towards the near side. Players from both teams in, and now here's a drive that winds up going wide of the far post from Sorrentino. And now controlled by St. Thomas Academy, behind the net. Max Candon feeding up the wall on the near side. And out to center comes Rude, and he plays it on in. After it there, Blake Sinclair for Rogers, now loose behind the net, around to the far side for Cheslock. And Brock Cheslock can't get it out of the zone. Finally, on a second effort, it does come out, and Rude will backhand towards the near side, and St. Thomas Academy will play it on into the zone. Here's Sinclair on the turn. His outlet pass is tipped, and Hudson Kotke plays it with the glove, now down at neutral and controlled. Finally, the Royals will play it rink wide through Avenir Bellew, and it's played down into the right corner, around behind the net, and now St. Thomas Academy will carry on out to center ice. And it is played on into the zone by Luca Pedri, now controlled by Rogers again. A little bit of a tentative start here, with these teams are chipping away, and it's shot on into the zone by Cheslock, and then Rogers will change forwards and now finish their change as Cheslock wheels for the bench. Now on the near side, it comes out to the blue line, and St. Thomas Academy plays it across Camden, and then there's a decleater thrown there by Jaden Kurtz. And it winds up at center ice. St. Thomas Academy again. Cronin carrying over the line, dumps it in deep. Back behind the net, Kurtz for Rogers. Back behind the goal, Smithneck there. And he is steered off to the boards, but played it up the wall, and now it leaks on out to center ice. Here's Kurtz playing it back in. And Jaden Kurtz we have a Kurtz and a Kurtz.
Have fun with that one.
It is, but they spell it differently. But, of course, this is television, so you can't hardly tell. And now it comes out to center and played on into the Cadet zone, right onto the goaltender, played past Cronin, and now here comes Mike Mikan, and then he gave it up momentarily, carrying on, and over the line is Kurtz, Kertz for St. Thomas Academy, put it in front, picked off by Jensen for Rogers, and now the Royals back. Little pass to the middle for Deshane, can't connect. Loose at center, and now picked up by Gertis for Rogers. Off to the near side boards, and Brownshausen plays it into the zone. Brownshausen throws it in front, and boy, a shot there tipped over the top of the goal from Gus Olsen, and now back come Rogers over the line, played ahead. Powers chasing after it, loose in the left corner, and then they go to the boards. Comes up the wall, past the hash mark, and controlled by Rude. Rink-wide pass, and over the line come the Cadets. A shot and a save made by Wyatt Knott. And a good chance there as the chance for Peter Murray for the Cadets. Now he turns and centers, puts it right between his defensemen, and it comes out to center ice. Now here's Richardson. He plays it ahead for the Cadets. Behind the net, Knott sets it up. Now banked off the wall to the far side for Cheslock and played on out to center. Royals try to steer it in, and they get a 2-on-1 deep. Here's a shot, and it's a save made there as Mason Jensen snuck in. Now another centering pass comes through to the far side, and hustling after it, Gertis to hold the zone. D to D pass to the near side. Sorrentino shoots, and the puck loose in front, and finally tipped and on out to center ice where the Royals gain control. Here's Sorrentino playing it back in, and it rings past Cody Neeson in goal, and the Royals center it, and unable to get there is Cheslock. Follow-up shot, and that goes wide from Sorrentino. Now here is St. Thomas Academy back, and they come to center ice. Stepping through, and now passing over to the near side. Camden takes a shot. He scores! Max Camden with his 4th goal, and he picked the top corner over the glove of Wyatt Knott, Tony, and it's 1-0.
You know, they had the better chances in the first 5 minutes here, and all you need to do is get Max Cannon loose, and he let the cannon go, and St. Thomas takes their lead.
Well, there's the replay. Boy, you saw it perfectly placed. He couldn't have thrown it any better. Max Camden has his 4th goal, and it comes at 4 minutes and 51 seconds of the first period, and it is 1-0.
And that's the start St. Thomas needed.
It is, and we'll wait for the assists. The numbers for Neeson have been very good. Goals against average for St. Thomas Academy 0.71 in the first 2 games and a 95% save percentage. There's the announcement.
Assistant by number 7, Lane Powers, and number 34, Luca Pedri.
Powers and Pedri getting assists on the goal at 4:51, and the Cadets have a 1-0 lead. 11:43 to go, time of the goal 4:51, and number 1 is down by 1 as it's played on into the St. Thomas Academy zone. And now rung around on the far side for Kurtz. He plays to center, and that's picked up by Jaden Kurtz, Kurtz for the Royals. Now banked ahead and on into the zone. Back behind the net, Neeson sets it up, and it's loose to the near side.
Is there going to be a spelling bee at the end of the period?
Gosh, I hope not. That was nearly never one of my strong suits. It comes out and now played into the zone, and Nico Russ goes after it, and we have an icing call. We'll come all the way back for a face-off with 11:07 to go in the first.
They'll tell you, if you stay and play high school hockey, you won't make it to the next level. They rarely talk about how special it is to play for your community. To represent where you came from, to wear your school's colors, working one-on-one with coaches, and best of all, playing with your best friends. It can be difficult to know if you're hitting the mark. But when you're hitting the mark, you'll know. Custom hockey jerseys proudly made in the USA.
Right back at the Bloomington Ice Garden, 1-0 for St. Thomas Academy as we get a face-off to the right of the Cadets' goal. Cody Neeson, 2 wins, 19 saves on 20 shots in those 2 wins. Wyatt Knott, 3-0, 1.67 for Rogers. 5 goals on 63 shots in Rogers' first 3 contests.
Look at a full line change here. Confusion, it's the first TV timeout of the year for these teams, and they didn't expect it coming right after 12 minutes. First timeout after 12 minutes. Both teams get a fresh set of skaters.
All right, face-off around to the near side. Yes, we got to get used to that. Of course, we being the TV people. Now a centering pass comes all the way through, and Deshane unable to latch on out to center. Puck laying loose at neutral. Royals pick it up. Deshane tries to sweep it in deep, And the end result is an offside. So we get a face-off with 10:52 to go.
Duchesne and Jensen have played squirt hockey, same lines and squirts. And they got the bubbles on their helmets. I called them the Bubble Boys back when they were first-year scorers. They're still wearing the bubbles, and they're still making big plays.
Some things never change as the puck winds up in the Cadets zone, and here's Kurtz to center. Comes right back to him.
What I like best about them is they're unselfish, and they get rid of the puck really quick.
Oh, there's a one-timer there by Jackson Root, and Knott got over to make a save with his shoulder. Now it comes in front, and a shot, they score! It's 2-0. Will Dolson. Boy, that is not what you're used to seeing from the Rogers defense, Tony, is that kind of space in front of the goal, and Dolson made no mistake.
Exactly said it perfect there, Jeff. They were sloppy. 2 times they've been sloppy, especially on this one. It just got in the right spot in the right time, and Dolson buried it.
Really had no chance. As you look at the replay, and Dolson scoring the goal. It's his 6th of the season, and it's 2-0 for the Cadets at 10:32. And Rogers, if they were not awake now, before, they certainly are now.
St. Thomas Academy Cadets goal scored by number 9, Will Dolson. Assisted by number 17, Patch Cronin. Time of the even strength goal.
Cronin gets the only assist at 6:28, and it's 2-0 Cadets. And the puck picked up and played back into the Rogers zone. Wake-up call duly administered, and here is Sinclair in the corner. Playing it up the wall, and the Royals now up against it. Puck comes out to center ice and picked up by Camden. The first goal scorer now played on into the St. Thomas Academy zone and set up behind the net by the near side. At center, it's Camden playing it on in. And icing whistle against the Cadets with 9:48 to go in the first period. Camden at 4:51, Dolson at 6:28.
Dolson grew up this is his backyard, literally butts up to Bloomington Ice Garden. Cody Neeson's another Bloomington kid. I'm sure they enjoyed playing in their own backyard on a big night like tonight.
Yes, good crowder tonight too, Tony.
I'm excited to see this many hockey fans out watching their 2 top 10 teams play.
This early on in the season. Of course, we're right back here tomorrow night for the opener.
Yes, we are.
Holy Family taking on Roseville area.
Love seeing new teams. Like, those are 2 teams we haven't seen a lot here on YHH.
Now into the zone. Smithneck throws a hit there against the boards, knocking Russ in. And now here comes Rogers back at center ice. Jaden Kurtz rink wide. And now chopped off the wall back to neutral ice. And they're starting to hit a little bit as the puck comes in over the line. Controlled there by Richardson for the Cadets. Rink wide to the far side. Gus Olsen up the middle. And over the line they come. Nico Russ. Check that. That would be Brownshausen behind the goal. Now he is knocked off the puck. And Vukic tries to play it around for Rogers. And now a rink wide pass. And they are able to play it to center ice. And from his knees, Keaton Weiss played it back in. Long pass up the wing. And here's Mikan over the line. Shoots. Stick save by Wyatt Knott. Puck comes over to the far side and now cleared. It'll get past Cronin and out to center. Rink wide to the near side. Picked up and shot in by Kurtz. Goaltender missed the cutoff. Gertis on the far side will pick it up and try to carry out. Gets some help, and it does. Dribble out to center. Played up by Murray to the far side as his teammates tag up. And now Rogers back. And here's Jensen over the line. Jensen, he is shoved to the wall by Cronin. And now picked up on the far side. There's a shot. Oh, a rebound in front. They score! Well, Rogers answers quickly. Parker Duchesne in front of the goal. And it is 2-1.
Give all the credit to Brock Cheslock there. Brock knew exactly where Parker Duchesne was. Looked back door, and all Duchesne had to do is get a stick on it. And it's 2-1.
Well, it doesn't take much. The margin in this game is fairly small, I would expect. Third goal for Duchesne. And it's 2-1.
What a goal.
Well, we've seen some beauties, even in the junior varsity game, which was a very well-played game.
Yeah.
And now, let's get the goal.
By number 11, Parker Duchesne. Assisted by number 18, Brock Cheslock. Time of the even strength goal.
And the only assist to Cheslock, and now a rink-wide pass at center. And St. Thomas Academy, Pedri, he is delayed by 3 white shirts at the blue line, and the Royals pick it up. Well, they got one of them back. Let's see if they can get the second as a rink-wide pass comes into the zone. And Cody Kronberg plays it on out to center. I was about to say, as I was watching Patch Cronin out there, how how much he literally has grown both as a player and as a presence out there in the last couple of seasons. He's the captain now. Now he's throwing his weight around.
Yeah, it's funny when he started as a sophomore here at STA. You know, it was like, wow, he's playing so many minutes as a sophomore. Now you can see those minutes paying off tonight.
Yep. We'll take the face-off back in the St. Thomas Academy zone. Cronin 4 assists on the season, still looking for goal number 1. But okay, well, what I said before, forget it. We're going to take it all the way down the ice and face off in the Rogers zone.
What they're saying is there's a high stick on Rogers' defender. I think it was Smith Connect.
And now we'll get a face-off to the left of the Rogers goal, and they explain this to Wyatt Knott. Shrugs his shoulders and says, all right, whatever. And
I was going to say, right before Rogers scored that goal, I was saying how crisp the passing for St. Thomas has been so far right out of the gate.
Yep. And
of course, they scored. They got scored on.
Because, of course, they did. And over the line. Now the Royals looking to center it there through Vukic, and it winds up loose to the half wall on the near side, now to the point, and the shot goes wide of the near post from Jaden Kurtz. And the Royals keep control. Smith Connect now tries it and plays it across to the near side. Playing around behind the net by Mikan, and Rogers. Smith Connect cranks and fires, and that goes off the traffic. And it's carried on out to center. Played on into the zone. And we get an icing call, so we'll go back with 7:09 left.
By inches, that was an icing call. I mean, the forechecker just missed it off his glove, and that puck comes all the way back. Game of inches.
Indeed, and we'll get a face-off now to the left of the St. Thomas Academy goal. And Cody Neeson, who has seen his goals against average go up already.
Yeah,
0.71 coming in.
Yeah, he's definitely tilted the scales.
Now from the draw, Rogers up to the left point, and that shot goes off the traffic. Follow-up winds up going wide as Gertis took that shot initially. Now cleared around on the boards, picked up by Hauser, and then he had to go between his feet, and he had to play it down low as he lost his angle to the goal. Now cleared to the far side. Tommy Kurtz tries to get out, can't. Now it goes back behind the net. Shoulders bump, centering pass is picked off, and now the Cadets back with 6:40 to go in the first period. Rink-wide pass from Rude over the line, and now a centering pass goes behind the net. Chasing after it is Dojan there, and he is now in control, leaves it there, and here's Rude in front, and a sweep check there by Keaton Weiss knocks it out to center ice. And now played back to the blue line, where it is controlled by Hatch Cronin, and he shoots it in. Goes back behind the net, off the inboards, and Gertis plays it, but can't get it out. And now loose to the far boards, Lane Powers for the Cadets, plays it down the wall for Rude. Centering pass, intercepted by Kotke, and back comes Rogers down the far wing. Over the line, a shot, and that goes off the traffic. Going off Richardson to the boards, and now played into the right corner, and they try to sneak their way out. Comes to the near side for Rude. At center ice, lays it ahead, and they come in 3 wide. A centering pass going right in, a shot, and a toe save by Wyatt Knott. And that was a terrific play. Now another centering attempt goes wide, and boy, what a terrific chance for St. Thomas Academy as they had that puck down low, and Luca Pedri with a really, really good chance, and Knott with a huge stop. And now the play behind the Rogers goal. Tony, I think we saw it again there. I saw a breakdown on the defensive third, which is distressing.
They've been reading their press clippings too much, Jeff.
Now the play in the corner, and the Cadets try to come off the wall. It comes towards the right point, and that shot goes off the traffic from Charlie Kwaters, number 3. Now fed to Olsen at the left point. He takes a shot and almost got it through a screen. Kwaters at the right point will play it down the wall. And Sorrentino overskated. Now it comes in front, and another chance. And boy, they have had more chances between the dots, grade A chances, Tony, than I've seen Rogers give up in a long time.
I want to say they've had 5 or 6 grade A chances right now. We'll go to a break here and be back in just a minute after a message from our sponsors.
Everyone knows Luther does it all, but did you know you can do it all? At home?
I just sold my car.
On your phone?
I just got pre-approved. I just scheduled an oil change.
Whenever, wherever.
I just bought a new car.
Anything and everything, whenever and wherever. LutherAuto.com. You can do it all.
In life, we all need a little help to reach our summit. Whatever your summit looks like, it's easier to reach when your body is strong and healthy. At Summit Orthopedics, our team of highly specialized physicians listens to and values every one of our patients. We take a conservative approach to care to get you back to your healthy and active lifestyle. Reach your summit. Summit Orthopedics. Visit summitortho.com to make an appointment today.
David Brown getting in his team's gears over during the TV timeout. And at this level, you make that mistake and it's going to wind up in your net. We saw it even in the JV game. We saw it happen to St. Thomas Academy quite a bit. And they couldn't get their zone cleared. It would wind up in their net repeatedly. Now played in rink wide. Cronin after it for the Cadets. 4:40 to go in the first period. It's 2-1 St. Thomas Academy, and a bank pass to center ice. And picked up there by Hauser. And now Rogers will regroup. To center ice. And then it's played in deep by Bellew, and now it winds up in the corner on the near side. And Cronin going after it there along with Keaton Weiss for Rogers. Now played down from the hash mark by Hauser. Behind the net, looking to center and sneaking in front Duchesne. But the puck never reached him, and now it's cleared back into the Rogers end. Chasing after it there is Gertis. And he winds up playing it ahead of now, and a loose puck is going to leak to the top of the slot. Picked up there by Brownshausen. And he feeds it down the wall. St. Thomas Academy again in possession. This time they have a man tied up in front of the net. And now here's Richardson playing it down behind the goal. Pursued there by Gertis. Fed up the wall, and Hauser has it for the Royals. They'll go back behind the net with 3:40 to go in the first period. Having trouble there is Jensen. And now he gives it over to Hauser. And Rogers will start out, still not out of the zone yet, as forced back to Shane, and he wound up giving it up. Great job by Rude, a centering pass. And Murray is the trailer. Is robbed in tight by Knott. And now here comes Rogers back. A backhanded chance for Vukic, and he shovels it wide of the goal from quite a distance. And now loose along the boards. Vukic again looking to center it and goes behind the net, does put it in front. It comes up the slot for Kurtz, who cranks up, takes a shot. It's off the defender in front of the goal. Jackson Rude, and cleared on out to center. Here's Rude back over. His second goal of the season, and St. Thomas Academy off to a flyer.
Well, the scouting report is out on Wyatt Knott. You shoot high. All 3 goals have come in right inside the crossbar tonight.
And that was a well-taken shot by Murray, and it comes
screened.
Yes. Everything you'd want there, really. I mean, somebody in front, you're picking the corner, right? And he's got some momentum, and it's now 3-1 for St. Thomas Academy.
They've been the better team. I think Rogers has been sloppy.
Out to center, and it's picked up. Bellew in the center circle now, plays it. Here's Kurtz. Let's get the announcement on the goal.
Number 12, Peter Murray. Assisted by number 4, Jackson Rudd. And number 9, Will Dojan.
Rudd and Dojan get assists on the goal, and we get a whistle. And we have our first penalty of the game, an interference call coming at 14:19 of the opening period, and heading to the penalty box for Rogers is Smith Connect.
Now big trouble for Rogers.
Well, St. Thomas Academy 4 for 5 on the power play in their first 2 games.
Yeah, but they weren't playing against Rogers.
No, they weren't. Rogers is perfect on the penalty kill so far, 9 out of 9. But they need to kill this one off, certainly. 2:38 to go. Play behind their goal. It's picked up on the near side, and the Royals will clear rink wide all the way down the ice.
Royals penalty assessed to number 25, Jackson Smith, a 2-minute minor for interference. Time of the penalty, 14 minutes.
Now down the near side. Here they come back. Brownshausen going behind the net. Watch there by Hauser. And it's picked up and cleared down the ice.
It's a big kill for Rogers.
It is.
They're going to need this.
Just over 2 minutes to go in the period, as you see on your screen. And now over the line. Here's a chance, and a shot by Dojan is kicked away by Wyatt Knott. Now they come off the wall. Brownshausen, top of the circle. Here's a shot by Mikan right on, and a save by Knott. Off to the near boards. Players from both teams in. It's dug out now by Rudd. Mikan feeds it over to the far side. Brownshausen on the hash mark, and they work it around. Halfway through the power play. Now over to the near circle. Rudd has it there. And he diagonal pass to the right side. Brownshausen drops it up the slot. Mikan one-time shot off the heel of Rudd's stick. And he never got purchase on it. Now he comes to the slot area. Rudd, they let him go through. Comes to the far side. A shot, a save, might not. And the puck is underneath him on a faceoff with 39 seconds in the power play and 1:20 to go in the period. The shots are 12-4 for St. Thomas Academy here in the first.
Jackson Root has been kind of the difference in this game so far. He has no points on the board yet, but he definitely has made his presence felt. The Cottage Grove transfer has definitely sunk his teeth into the Royals defense today.
You might say he's treating them rudely.
He is rudely treating them.
But that would be a dad joke, and we're not into that. Now
No, we're
here's
not.
Kurtz taking a shot. Pad save not off to the near boards. 30 in the power play as the puck comes up the wall. Cronin at the left point. Now top of the circle. And Kurtz throws it across to the right side. Here's a shot, and that winds up going wide as we hit the last minute of play in the period. Still 15 seconds of power play remaining for St. Thomas Academy. Camden behind the goal, taken in against the wall by Jaden Kurtz, and now it floats high in the air and into the Rogers bench for a stoppage with 8 seconds in the power play and 49 to go on the. But you know the point, you say shooting high, but yes, when you're picking under the crossbar like that, you're not leaving much chance for the goaltender in any event there. But face off to the left. On the draw. Played back to the corner with 5 seconds to go. Royals around behind the net, and they'll kill this penalty off. 40 seconds to go in the first period. And now centering pass will run up the slot, and the Royals will pick it up. They've got a player coming out of the box behind the play, and it's Kotke, and he puts it wide to the far side. Not a clean transfer there. The puck comes to center, and now with 25 seconds to go, St. Thomas Academy offside as Brownshausen couldn't stay on as Nico Ross brought it in a little bit early.
Man, they've had a lot of very close. I'm sitting right here on the blue line tonight, and I've seen 3 or 4 very, very close offsides go in favor of St. Thomas. That one did not go in their favor.
Yes. Well, you're playing with speed. You're playing right on the edge, and sometimes you'll get it and sometimes you don't. As it's shot into the zone, behind the net, Knott lets it go through towards the near side. Kotke banks it ahead and loose. Now picked up along the near side wall and played down by Dojan with 9 seconds to go. Around on the far side, and here's Smith-Connect with it for Rogers. Gets around a couple, now feeds it ahead. Kotke over the line with 1 second to go. He shoots right on as the buzzer goes to end the first period, and our shots in the first favored St. Thomas Academy by 14-6, and the goals by 3-1. And that's fair, I think, when you look at the numbers here in this period.
I don't, other than the one nice play from Cheslock to Duchesne, I didn't see much I really liked out of Rogers in that first period. And I liked a lot from St. Thomas Academy. Good, crisp puck movement, players supporting each other on the puck on both sides of the ice. I feel like it was a complete period except for one defensive breakdown for St. Thomas.
Well, we'll see if David Brown is able to right the ship between periods as St. Thomas Academy leads Rogers by 3-1. We'll take a break and come back with our. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
We'll go downstairs to Marissa Moss.
That's what we're going to do. Okay.
With Coach Dave Brown.
Sorry about that.
Welcome back. We're here at Friday Night Ice presented by Luther Auto. St. Thomas Academy is up 3-1 over Rogers after the first period. Now, Coach, like I said, 3-1, not the outcome that you really want right now after the first period, but what is the talk in the locker room going to be like to liven up this squad and get some goals in the next 20?
Yeah, we knew they were good off the rush. They've scored a couple goals off the rush. You know, you got to defend the blue line maybe a little stronger, but a little unlucky on the first one from the wall, and the third one probably shouldn't be going in. But, you know, it's a good chance for us to reboot. It's probably the worst period we've played all season, and it's just a good opportunity for us to see who wants to step up as a leader. Right? It's a tough game. Their first line is fast and they're good, and even Jackson had a good shot from the dot over there. It's going to take some leaders to step up and see if we can turn the tables a bit in the second.
Is there any major adjustments that you're going to make in between this first and second period, or like you said, you're just going to have some people step up?
Yeah, no, I mean, we need to come back as a unit of 5. We went a little south in our own end there, and you start turning pucks over, and they're going to gain some confidence. I do think we had some shifts where we got on our forecheck and our D threw it into a couple shin pads, and that's tough to recover, right? So it's just trying to maybe be a little sharper with the puck and make a little quicker decisions, but overall it's just the details and coming back inside the dots a little harder.
Thank you so much, Coach, and good luck in the next couple periods.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That was head coach for Rogers, Dave Rogers, and now we're Dave Brown, and now we're going to send it up to commercials, and you're going to hear from some of our lovely, lovely sponsors.
Everyone knows Luther does it all, but did you know you can do it all? At home?
I just sold my car.
On your phone?
I just got pre-approved. I just scheduled an oil change.
Whenever, wherever.
I just bought a new car.
Anything and everything, whenever and wherever. LutherAuto.com. You can do it all.
You know, really creativity. You have lots of great athletes, but you don't have lots of great hockey players, and the biggest separator is what they call hockey IQ, or intelligence, and that's the ability to really process information quickly, make decisions.
In life, we all need a little help to reach our summit. Whatever your summit looks like, it's easier to reach when your body is strong and healthy. At Summit Orthopedics, our team of highly specialized physicians listens to and values every one of our patients. We take a conservative approach to care to get you back to your healthy and active lifestyle. Reach your summit. Summit Orthopedics. Visit summitortho.com to make an appointment today.
Is your business ready to tackle today's IT and cybersecurity challenges? At Cyber Advisors, we specialize in keeping companies secure and running smoothly. From proactive cybersecurity solutions to 24/7 IT support, we're here to help. Visit cyberadvisors.com/hockey for a free discovery call.
Welcome to tonight's first intermission. A fantastic start for one of the two teams. St. Thomas Academy getting 3 goals in the opening period. One from Max Candon, one from Will Doshin, and one near the end of the period from Peter Murray. The scorer for the Rogers Royals is Parker Deshane. Tony, let me get your general thoughts on the opening frame.
I thought Rogers was sloppy.
Sloppy?
I thought St. Thomas was the opposite. They were crisp. They made plays. They were fast. They played. They looked like they were in mid-season form. Rogers looked like he was playing its first game of the season. A lot of turnovers, poor everything.
Very interesting. You would have expected St. Thomas Academy to maybe have come out a little bit slower given the level of competition that the Cadets had played coming into tonight's game, but the tables are completely turned. How about that?
And what struck me as odd is the stuff that we talked about in the pregame. None of it came true. I mean, the D for Rogers was sloppy. You know, a lot of open gaps, a lot of loose pucks in front. I mean, tough shots to save for Wyatt Knott in front of on net. So I think things will change in the second period.
That should serve as a warning to those of you listening at home. Check out the big brains on Tony and Peter. A couple of notes here for St. Thomas Academy. Getting production from its stars. Princeton commit Will Doshin with 1 goal and 1 assist. And Jackson Rude rapidly becoming a Mr. Hockey frontrunner. His block shot down here directly led to the Cadets' 3rd goal.
I talked about Jackson during the game. I'm like, the Cottage Grove transfer has definitely made his impact immediately. And I don't really think he made the score sheet, but you could feel him out there every time he hit the ice.
He was credited with 1 assist coming on that 3rd goal. Another player I'd like to highlight from St. Thomas Academy, number 22, Cole Bronshausen. He looks so smooth in that offensive zone, watching him sort of carousel around the Rogers end.
As active Youth Hockey Hub people, we've seen Cole back to his squirt days in Stillwater when he won the Squirtacular. He was a Wiz Wyatt finalist. Is anybody surprised that Cole's having a big night tonight?
Well, nobody should be surprised that Cole's having a big night. He's got 8 points so far this season. So the Cadets off to a very, very hot start. Not what we thought was going to happen. Do you have any extra thoughts on the first period?
I think they just got to come out and keep it simple. St. Thomas has taken it to them. Rogers has to make it simpler in the second period in order to come back and combat that 2-goal lead.
All righty, we'll get more of Tony's thoughts on what Rogers has to change in the second frame. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
They'll tell you, if you stay and play high school hockey, you won't make it to the next level. They rarely talk about how special it is to play for your community. To represent where you came from, to wear your school's colors, working one-on-one with coaches, and best of all, playing with your best friends. It can be difficult to know if you're hitting the mark. But when you're hitting the mark, you'll know. Custom hockey jerseys proudly made in the USA.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. You here to pick up my truck?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that was easy. Yeah, I knew Luther buys cars, but I had no idea it was this simple and convenient. Is there anything you guys don't do?
Not really.
Will you buy any car?
Yeah.
Even that one?
Even that one.
Wow, you do it all.
Luther Auto, over 40 locations and one of the region's largest inventories. Luther Auto, we do it all.
Now, before we get you back to the action, we're going to check in again with Mr. Tony Scott on what each team needs to do going forward. So, Tony, what did the Cadets have to do to keep up this momentum?
I would keep the precise, crisp passing is what they got to keep doing, because that was the difference between the two teams. They were moving the puck. Rogers was fumbling it all over the place.
All righty, and as a coaching genius, what would you say to Rogers in the locker room, and what do the Royals need to do to get back in this game?
It's pretty simple. They got to get back to the basics. I mean, they got to make pass A to pass B and pass B to pass C. They're not completing consecutive passes. Let's just work on puck movement first. And then from there, everything will take care of itself.
Drive the Corolla before you drive the Cadillac.
Absolutely.
Now, give me a player from each team that you think we should keep an eye out for in the second period.
Well, it's easy for us. I mean, I think Tommy Kurtz is going to have to sustain himself again, use the big presence for St. Thomas. And on the Rogers side, it's got to be Wyatt Knott. I mean, he did not have his best period there. He's going to have to stand on his head in these last two periods to keep this game close.
No disagreements from me. Folks, we'll be back with period number 2 after another word from our sponsors.
Everyone knows Luther does it all, but did you know you can do it all? At home?
I just sold my car.
On your phone?
I just got pre-approved. I just scheduled an oil change.
Whenever, wherever.
I just bought a new car.
Anything and everything, whenever and wherever. LutherAuto.com. You can do it all.
Is your business ready to tackle today's IT and cybersecurity challenges? At Cyber Advisors, we specialize in keeping companies secure and running smoothly. From proactive cybersecurity solutions to 24/7 IT support, we're here to help. Visit cyberadvisors.com/hockey for a free discovery call.
They'll tell you, if you stay and play high school hockey, you won't make it to the next level. They rarely talk about how special it is to play for your community. To represent where you came from, to wear your school's colors, working one-on-one with coaches, and best of all, playing with your best friends. It can be difficult to know if you're hitting the mark. But when you're hitting the mark, you'll know. Custom hockey jerseys proudly made in the USA.
Back at the Bloomington Ice Garden, and number one is in a peck of trouble here as St. Thomas Academy has come out storming, and they lead Rogers 3-1 after the first period of play. Goals in the first period. It was Max Candon from the wing boards at 4:51, with assists going to Powers and Pedri. And then 2-0 at 6:28 through the sixth goal of the season from Will Doshin. Assists going to Pash Cronin. And then Rogers pulled one back. Parker Deschain's third goal of the year, coming on an assist from Brock Cheslock at 8:42. And then St. Thomas Academy made it 3-1. Peter Murray with a goal at 13:57. Assists going to Jackson Rude and Doshin, as the referees are awaiting the okay to come on out. And of course, nobody goes on the ice till the referees do. I wonder if the ice is still a little bit wet, and that's possibility. First real cold temperatures of the fall here in the Twin Cities today. Wind chills below zero this morning across the metro, and they got to wait for the ice to firm up a little bit before they let the teams out. And now the referees are out, so the teams will follow momentarily. Here come the Cadets. Stake to that lead, 3-1 after the first period. Teams will change ends and attack towards their benches. Penalty boxes will be empty as the second period gets underway. Rogers with work to do, but the players with which to do it. And we'll see if Rogers has done the things they need to do to get the ship righted here in the second period, as number one has fallen behind. And Tony, you're back, and your thoughts on that first period that we haven't already relayed?
I just think it's sloppiness. I think St. Thomas is really taking it to Rogers so far. I think Rogers probably got a earful about the size of a puck bucket in the second period there, and we'll see if they can respond to Coach Brown's instructions.
Well, one would wonder, but as I mentioned before you got here, they got a lot of work to do, but they have the players to do it.
Yeah, they
and
do.
They just need to step up and play like them and get themselves back into this game. All right, there you look at the Rogers bench. David Brown, the head coach. We listened to him after the first period. What would you have said in the locker room as a coach to those players?
I would have chosen the silent treatment. I would have said, I'm not saying a word. I've coached you guys for the last 3 years together. You know what to do. And I would have walked out. That's what I would have done. And I would have made them decide how they want to respond. And let's not make it the coach's job, right?
Okay, let's put you in Mark Strobel's shoes then. What do you say for St. Thomas other than, hey, that's a great period?
Don't change a thing.
Yeah.
But don't take your foot off the gas either, because you're playing Rogers. These guys are good.
And we are underway in the second period. Smith-Connect plays it ahead, and it goes wide of the goal. They wave icing. And along on the far side, it's Mikan playing it ahead to the blue line and not out. Picked up by Deschain. Now he works to the slot. Deschain to Smith-Connect on the near side, and then he runs into the defender, Brownshausen. Puck loose in the circle. Deschain centers. They score! Mason Jensen. And it's 3-2, and perhaps message received, Tony.
22 seconds in, the Bubble Brothers do it again at Bloomington Ice Garden. I've seen these kids do this 100 times. Very unselfish is the key, right? Fake slapper, backdoor, Jensen. 1 goal lead.
Fifth goal of the season for Mason Jensen, and an assist going to Deschain. Time of the goal, 22 seconds, and it's 3-2.
What was the key about that? Was a nice crisp pass.
And here they come in again. And Smith-Connect gets the second assist on that goal at 22 seconds, and it's 3-2. Centering pass by Mason Jensen. Puck comes free, and now here's Deshane. And he tries to throw it towards the front of the net. Loose along the boards, and now picked up by Richardson. And St. Thomas Academy does play it out to center ice. Vukic back in his zone, leaves it there for Hauser on the turn. And out to center. Now controlled by St. Thomas Academy, and Murray who shoots it into the zone. Now it's onto the goaltender. They score! Oh, a crazy hop.
Wow.
And is that going to count?
That looked like it was a high stick.
I think the officials are going to talk about it.
The referee down low did not see it. He didn't even know the puck went in the net. He did not see that go in the net. I want to see a replay on this. I definitely want to see a replay on this one because that puck was, here we go. Justin Moss on the replay, love it. It's up in the air. That's a no goal.
That's a no goal.
That's no goal.
It's rude putting it in, but that is a high stick.
No goal.
And we'll see what the officials say. Of course, they have
the final.
It's not
close. They don't have a replay. They did not see it. It's no goal.
The stick is over the crossbar when it knocks the puck in. Great hand-eye coordination, certainly.
Yeah.
By
no goal.
No goal. That's a high stick.
That's the right call. That's the right call. It was this far. It was that far above the crossbar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the high stick is going to bring the face-off outside the blue line. So the face-off comes outside the Rogers blue line, and a reprieve for the Royals. Get up and carry over the line. Gertis pokes it wide of the goal, and now Lubke behind the goal looking to center it for the Royals. Left point, Gertis plays it down for Lubke again in the corner, working against K. Waters for St. Thomas Academy. And Gertis can't hold that one in as it was between his feet, and he couldn't find it. Now played back into the St. Thomas Academy zone. Gus Olson in the left corner, around on the near side. A minute and a half gone in the second period. And nearly a high stick there, but Gertis fanned on it, and now here comes K. Waters over the line. Swung wide, takes a shot, goes wide of the far post. Karam is then played back behind the goal where Gertis will control for the Royals. 2 minutes gone in the period. Rink wide pass into the zone, and now Olson will chase after it in the left corner. Plays it up the wall, held there by Bellew. Tried to throw it in front, and now out to center it comes. And here come the Cadets. Over the line, steered wide by Jaden Kurtz. Cleared to the left point. Here's a shot. They score! And that one will count as the puck came in from Tommy Kurtz at the left point. And I think it was tipped by Mikan in front of the goal, and it's 4-2.
They just got the puck to the net, and Mike Mikan buried it. The great-grandson of George Mikan dunked on that one.
There it is. And you know, they talk about the Mikan drill in basketball as being.
Do they really?
They
I don't
still
know what
do.
That is.
The Mikan drill, I'll tell you.
Throw it into the guy and slam it home?
Oh, what the Mikan drill was, well, as we get play going here, let's announce it, and then I'll tell you in a minute here.
Murray giving credit for, I know Mikan tipped that one in.
2 minutes and 12 seconds. We'll wait for that one. And Kurtz gets the assist, but it was Mikan that
They're
tipped it.
They're confusing 12 and 13.
Yeah,
there's clearly a mistake there.
Okay, the Mikan drill. When he was building his skills at DePaul, the drill was you take the ball in your left hand and you would put it over the top of the basket and catch it with your right hand while you were jumping each time, and you would up, over,
really?
up, over, up, over. And the idea is to develop coordination
and strength
with each hand, and they still do it in the NBA.
Really?
And that was, yes, this is a 70-year-old drill. It's known as the Mikan drill.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We are ready to go. I know more about the Mikan family than I ever knew. And
you know, who would have thought that our first trivia would be about basketball here on the first Friday night ice of the season? We just would never have known.
No idea.
Now it's Rogers in control. And Jaden Kurtz plays it around behind the net as he falls. 4-2 now for St. Thomas Academy, so they answer that early charge, and they do it fairly well. And now here's Jensen along the boards. Lost possession, and the Cadets try to clear. They do get the puck to center ice, and over the line comes Jaden Kurtz. Near side, Jensen banks it off the boards behind the net, and Cronin along the wall will then reverse to the near side. Banked ahead, Murray. And he has it at the half wall. Rink wide pass. Cronin to center ice. Relayed into the zone. Bouncing puck. Those can be tricky.
Yeah.
Especially when you've already got 4 behind you. And now to the near side. And here is Rogers Branton playing at the center ice. And now St. Thomas Academy in control. Camden, a pass up the middle. That's stolen away by Sundberg. And now Mason Jensen playing it over to the right. And then he will head for the bench on a change as we have 13 minutes and change to go here in the second period. A 4-2 lead for St. Thomas Academy. Bouncing puck into the zone. Picked up on the far side by Sandberg, and we got a whistle. And we've got an icing call. Yep, so we'll go back. 13:01 to go.
What a good answer there by the Cadets.
Yes.
Because it felt like the tables were completely turning the other way in favor of Rogers in the first 4 minutes there.
And they had come out with their guns blazing and scored a goal in the opening half minute. And St. Thomas Academy just knocked them right back down a peg. And now on the right side, Sundberg is back behind the goal. And Sorrentino, as Sundberg is taken in against the boards. Now the puck back into the St. Thomas Academy zone. No icing as Richardson rings the net. Leaves it back in the right corner. And now up the wall it comes. A hit thrown against the boards and now played rink wide by Sinclair. Over to the far side for Kellen Branton. Now a centering pass, and that winds up deflecting out of play. 12:31 to go in the second period in a 4-2 game.
Branton with a nice little play there, a little one-touch pass. It's the one-touch passes that they're going to have to execute tonight to get back into this game.
Face-off coming to the left of Cody Neeson. And from the draw, the Cadets clear it out to center ice. Gertis, defender falls. Gertis over the line, centers it, and trying to throw it back in front was Bellew there without success. Now behind the goal, controlled by Gertis as he is leaned on against the boards, and now a hit thrown by Cheslock, and that one is impressive. Winds up shot all the way down the ice and icing against the Cadets with 12:06 to go in the second period.
I think that Rogers has definitely found their calm. They're definitely playing a much better period this period than they were in the first.
You couldn't expect them to play like that for the entire game,
No,
certainly.
no, not if you're the number 1 rated team in the state. No chance.
And now to the right point, the puck comes. Here's Gertis high in the slot, takes a shot, deflected, relay shot, and that one was sneaky as Bellew tried to put it through and hit skates off to the near boards. Royals in control momentarily in the corner. Bellew behind the goal, tries a little saucer, and now it winds up back in the right corner where it's controlled by Mikan. And now he will start up rink wide to the left, and that's going to get past everyone, come all the way down the ice. Icing against St. Thomas Academy. We'll take a break here from Bloomington Ice Garden. It's 4-2 for St. Thomas Academy here on Friday Night Ice.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. You here to pick up my truck?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that was easy. Yeah, I knew Luther buys cars, but I had no idea it was this simple and convenient. Is there anything you guys don't do?
Not really.
Will you buy any car?
Yeah.
Even that one?
Even that one.
Wow, you do it all.
Luther Auto, over 40 locations and one of the region's largest inventories. Luther Auto, we do it all.
Back at Bloomington Ice Garden, to paraphrase Dan Patrick, with Tony Scott, I'm merely Jeff Pappas as we play the second period. 11:34 to go and a 4-2 advantage for St. Thomas Academy that they've well and truly earned.
You know, the Cadets have definitely impressed me here today. You didn't know what to expect. They had Mike Randolph as their coach, who's more defensive minded. Now you enter Mark Strobel into the game, and you just didn't know what to expect from them. And now I really like them, what I've seen so far.
Now from the draw, play back behind the goal. Doshin moves it up the wall, and it goes over Kurtzen out of play. And of course, Mike Randolph at Northern Lakes now has them number 10 in the state in Class A, at least according to the folks at Let's Play Hockey who don't know nearly as much about the game as we do.
Oh, I think they're close. I'm not sure. I saw them. I broadcasted his record-breaking win on Monday night in St. Cloud. They got a nice team. That top line, Drew Paulbeck, is a heck of a hockey player, let me tell you.
Now played back into the Rogers zone. It winds up behind the goal as Kurtz plays it off to the near boards. Now back behind the net. Kurtz again. And out to center it comes. Over to the near side, Kronberg. And loose at neutral ice, and Rogers back. A pass too far for Jensen, and from the wrong side of center ice to boot. So that's icing against the Royals.
That's a double whammy, Jeff.
It is. It is indeed.
They had a man open, missed him, and then as a result of it, turning an icing, now they got a defensive zone faceoff.
I learned a new phrase during football season this year, which describes it. It's called a double thud.
What's that?
Which is a block punt.
Oh,
One
yeah.
thud, second thud. And
I think when you have a block shot for a goal, it's the same as a punt return for a touchdown.
double thud, right.
Yeah.
Now here's Rogers back with numbers as they come over the line. Vukic, and then he is stripped of the puck by Patch Cronin. Now played down the wing. Cronin at center. It goes into the air and out of play.
You're a northern Minnesota guy. Vukic's dad is an Iron Ranger, as is Adam Hauser.
Yeah.
Matty Hauser's dad. There's a little bit of an Iron Range theme here.
Yes.
With the Rogers Royals.
Oh boy, Vukic is about as Iron Ranger name as
Oh,
it gets.
absolutely.
When you think about it.
Yeah, only bigger Iron Range name would be like Miskovich or Lawson, right?
Right. Lots of very strong sounding Slavic type names.
Absolutely.
It's played back into the neutral ice area. Now back Cronin. Pass to the right, picked up there and played one touch by Hauser. And of course, yes, Adam Hauser is that's
a legend.
Yes. Around to the near side, and here is Vukic. Now played over to the right point. Hauser closes in, shoots in, a save and no rebound from Neeson, and that was impressive with all those players standing in front of the goal. Face off to his left.
Update from Mariucci Arena. Alaska leading the Gophers 1-0 after one.
Wow.
Didn't see that one coming.
I don't think anybody did. They got a bunch of finals to pass along. Andover's lost again to Minnetonka tonight, 3-2 at the Thanksgiving Invitational. More scores as we move along here. Now played into the Rogers zone to the right, centering pass, and no penalty there as the St. Thomas Academy player flying through the slot, falling. That would have been Mikan, and now over the line comes Rogers. Here's a shot that's deflected as Bellew tried to take a shot on goal. Now loose in the corner and runs around behind the net. Richardson gets there first. Plays to the far side, and here's Nico Russ down the wing. Russ having trouble, plays it in from his knees and then heads to the bench on a change. 9.5 to go in the second period, and number one still trails by 2. Out to center it comes, and loose in the center circle. Shouldered off there was Gus Olsen by Cheslock, but it comes into the zone anyway. And now a drop pass and a chance in front, and again they're shooting high as Rude's shot wound up deflecting. But yes, they're looking at going upstairs as the first order of business here. And now a pass up the middle. Royals come back and over the center line. DeShane can't play it ahead. Now knocked back into the zone, and here comes Rude back behind the Rogers goal. Comes around the near side, drops it to the left point. Here's a shot right on, and a save made. We'll get a face-off as the shot from Gus Olsen is stopped with 8:57 to go. Other scores here. Let's see. Northfield over Minneapolis 5-2. East Grand over Grand Forks Red River 7-2. Proctor 3-0 over Mankato East. Rosemount over Chanhassen 6-3. Duluth Marshall 11. South St. Paul 2.
Wow.
Up at Mars Lakeview tonight, Hibbing Chisholm over St. Cloud Cathedral by 6-3.
Number one rated St. Cloud Cathedral.
Yes, and now here they come around the net. Centering pass up the slot. Where is it? It's loose in front of the net, and they're unable to latch onto it as the speed of Jensen started it, but Weiss was not able to finish. And now here comes St. Thomas Academy back. Rude over the line, passing to the left, and over skating there, Cronin. And the puck comes down into the corner, and Gertis tries to chip it around him. Now loose behind the net, and it comes to the right point. Here is Kurtz closing, and he winds up putting it behind the net. where it's controlled by Jaden Kurtz. He leaves it there in the corner as we pass the halfway mark of regulation on a 4-2 game here on the first Friday night ice of the new season. And here comes Keaton Weiss over the line, closing, tried a toe drag, takes a shot, and a nice play by Patch Cronin there to deny that toe drag and a better scoring chance than it already was.
When Weiss, Jensen, and Duchesne get that puck on their stick, it's fun to watch, but they can't be out there the entire time. We need more production from Rogers on lines number 2 and lines number 3. It feels like they're just plodding along, and line 1 is making it all happen out there right now.
All right, face-off, and now played to the left of the goal. Here's the score for you. Rockridge leading Wayzata 2-1 in the early going.
That would be incredible if that were to actually happen.
Yes, if it were to hold up. And now to the...
They'll give our podcast, the Rink of Fire podcast, a lot to talk about if that happens.
Certainly true. And now here comes Rogers to center down the near wing. And here's Vukic. He takes a shot and a glove catch by Neeson. Face-off coming up to his left, his right rather, with 7:41 to go in the second period.
Well, I will say this, both teams' offensive abilities have definitely impressed tonight. Now, see if the defense can start locking things down.
Face-off, Vukic against Luka Pedri, and the draw won by the Cadets off to the far side. Held in on the wall by 16 Lubke, played down behind the goal, and the Royals trying to cycle out of the corner here. Centering pass, is trapped against the post, and Neeson, now he get a little shove there between Vukic and a St. Thomas Academy defender. I think it was Kronberg. And a face-off.
You know, we talked a lot in the pregame show about the decor of Rogers, but you know, I think the decor from St. Thomas has been every bit as good.
Face-off to the left. Now cleared around on the near side. And a centering pass. And a shot off the mask there, loose from Cheslock, and that wound up catching Neeson right in the melon as the puck comes off to the near side. Cleared all the way down the ice, and going back for it is Jackson Smith-Connect in the corner. And then he lost possession, a centering pass, and unable to latch on was Brownshausen as the puck winds up at neutral ice, picked up and played on into the zone by Kurtz. After it there is Gus Olsen in the corner, near wall, picked up by Brownshausen, relayed Smith-Connect with a shoulder there to knock Mikan off his stroke. And now the puck loose, long arms of Smith-Connect, wins the puck, but now picked up by Mikan, and now loose in the center circle, and here's Cheslock feeding over to the far side. And Rogers breaks in, a centering pass, and Ballou had his stick out, but the puck somehow managed to avoid his blade, and now it winds up along the near wall as Brownshausen tries to play it ahead, and it comes down the near wing. Mikan after it, but getting there first is Matty Hauser, who clears around on the far side for Ballou, now cleared. And with 6:20 to go in the period, Rogers laying the puck ahead and paying the price over the line. Here's Hauser leaving a drop pass there in 3-on-1 deep as they had him caught on a change, a centering pass by Jensen. And that didn't connect. Rogers with a good rush there, and they had numbers forward, but just not able to find the right blade. And now over the line they come, and that's offside on the left as Rude was in too early with 6:01 to go in the second period. Well, what happened on that line change, Tony?
I have no idea. All of a sudden it was 3-on-1. I don't even think Duchesne knew how good a news it was. Again, these uniforms are the colors are so similarly colored. I don't think he realized he had such good numbers.
Now play in the Rogers zone from the face-off, pass into the middle, and that's going to carry him off a stick and up the slot. Finally turning with it is Camden. It goes down the far wing as he's tied up by Keaton Weiss over the line. The pass to the near side for Murray, who shot, and that might have caught a piece of the goalpost as it winds up behind the net. Now controlled by Duchesne. Long pass ahead, and Weiss unable to get to it, and it comes right onto the goaltender. We'll get a face-off with 5:37 to go, and we'll take a break here. From Bloomington Ice Garden, it's 4-2 St. Thomas Academy. Friday Night Ice on the Youth Hockey Hub.
They'll tell you, if you stay and play high school hockey, you won't make it to the next level. They rarely talk about how special it is to play for your community. To represent where you came from To wear your school's colors. Working one-on-one with coaches. And best of all, playing with your best friends. It can be difficult to know if you're hitting the mark. But when you're hitting the mark, you'll know. Custom hockey jerseys proudly made in the USA.
Back at Bloomington Ice Garden, 5:37 to go in the second period. Shots are 20-11 for St. Thomas Academy. 6-5 in the second period. So 20 shots and 4 goals against Wyatt Knott, which we haven't seen in a while either.
2-1 in shots, 2-1 in goals.
Can't argue that math.
I mean, close.
It's close enough for people who count by 1s, 2s, 3s, and 6s like us.
That's right.
So face off to the right of Cody Neeson. 5:37 to go in the second. And now from the draw, Sorrentino on his backhand, threw it in the slot area, and it was picked off. Back behind, here's Rude in the corner. Now rink wide pass to center ice.
I feel like the Rogers defenders are getting more and more comfortable as this game goes on.
Do they have enough time to make a major impact? Here is Weiss down the wing. And over the line, Keaton Weiss puts on the brakes. Nice play there. Drops it to Gertis in the slot, and then he tried to stick handle it past the team picture, and it's picked up there by St. Thomas Academy. Rink wide pass to center, and then a hit thrown by Sorrentino. Puck winds up loose at the left edge, and a poke at it there, and a sharp save by Knott. Winds up now behind the goal. And here's Rude. We get a whistle, and the net has come dislodged, so we'll get a face-off. Just under 5 minutes to play now.
Obviously, Jeff, the next goal is very important.
Vital.
In this game, right? Like 4-2 game, 4-3 puts Rogers in the driver's seat. With the momentum. 5-2 at the point of the way that Cody Neeson's playing goalie tonight. I don't think we're going to see 5 goals scored by Rogers.
And here they come down the wing. Lays it ahead. Branton chasing after it. Goes behind the goal around to the near side. Vukic going after it for Rogers. And up the wall it comes, and St. Thomas Academy able to break out with some ease. Rink wide to center. Camden will play it on into the Rogers zone. Smith-Connect goes behind the goal for the Royals. And then he puts on the brakes in the corner, leaves it, plays it up the wall for Branton. And out to center. Kronberg. They will play it right back in and right back out. Kronberg backing in, rink wide in his own zone. Now played ahead, and there's a major shot thrown. It's going to be interference. But boy, a message sent there by Jaden Kurtz as he just flattened Max Camden at neutral ice. He'll go to the penalty box for it, but message sent.
Don't put your head down, right?
Yep. Charging is the penalty on Kurtz. .12:51. And from the draw, Cadets get possession, drop towards the left point. And now off the wall, Rude lost possession, and now here's a little saucer to center ice, trying to break through is Weiss, and he can't get to it.
Weiss
Nice idea.
just blew a tire at the center line, or he would have had a chance at a puck possession.
Here's a shot, and a snazzy glove save there off the ocean by Wyatt Knott. 24 seconds into the power play as Kurtz for charging at 12:51.
That could have been called just about anything, Jeff.
I think so. Well,
interference I thought was a better call. But
yeah.
Charging, elbowing, you name it, he just decleated him.
Face-off coming up to the left of the Rogers goal. And they can't get the centerman squared, so they'll try again. Puck down, and it runs to the middle. Here's a shot, and Rude's shot somehow missed the net as it winds up coming all the way back. And Cody Neeson plays it around to the far side. And Rude will wind it up on the power play. 1:20 to go on the power play, 3:28 in the second period. And over the line, played around behind the net by Nico Russ, 4 points on the season. Now around behind the net on the far side, here's Hauser. And he can't play it. Now at the left point, There's a shot that goes off the traffic and wide from Mikan. And now Rogers is trying to chip it out, and they do get it to center. Mikan on the turn. The red line pass to the left and then brings it in. And Rude works to the high slot and closes in, takes a shot, and a save made. And the puck is underneath the goaltender, not. And
I never heard a whistle. Did you hear a whistle?
no, I didn't hear a whistle either.
Okay, I thought I was crazy.
They just know. Don't have to. Everybody knows, don't they? All right, face off to the right of Wyatt Knott, and one of my favorite UMD songs playing now.
Yeah, it is.
Well, Holiday Road, which is what they played for some years up in Duluth after the Bulldogs win a game.
They haven't done much of that this year.
No, they have not. And young team, lots of talent, but I figure if there's a guy that can figure it out, it's probably Scott Sandelin.
I trust Scott Sandelin.
Yes. Cleared all the way down the ice. 25 in the power play. And Cronin will go back behind the goal. Time for one more rush here on this man advantage. And at the red line, Cronin will carry over the line himself. And still in possession. Finally drops it up the wall. And after it there is Pedri. That's a 5-car pileup now. The puck comes towards the left point. 5 seconds in the power play. And Rogers will kill this one off. 2:10 to go as the penalized player Kurtz checks back in.
Parker DeShane pretty much foiled that thing for the last 15 seconds.
Yes, he did. Some nice work there. Very talented players. The puck comes up the near wall. And Jensen, now the puck shot in by Smith-Connect, and he got under it. It's out of play. 1:52 to go.
I had a chance this summer to play golf with Parker DeShane, Mason Jensen, and Nolan Gerdes. And what an enjoyable threesome that was to play with those guys. Man, they are not short of confidence, I'll say that right now.
How many shots did they give you?
Well, we didn't. We played together as a foursome. We shot 9 under for 9 holes.
Did you?
Scramble. Yeah, it was
well,
fun.
that's not bad.
Yeah, they said they were going to go 10 under. I kind of laughed at them, and then we went 9 under. It was pretty fun to watch.
And they used all your shots, right?
I had a couple.
I'm sure you
did.
did.
Counters. I counted.
Everybody plays golf better than I do, which is why I joke about it. Now over the line, into the left corner, as Hauser goes after it. Now it comes to the left of the goal, and Knott gets a stoppage. So where'd you play?
We played at a local course here in Bloomington, Minnesota Valley, and we did the same exercise this summer with the kids from Grand Rapids, Carter Casey, Nate Garski, and Will Shimon up at Pokegama. So 600 for the Northern kids, 900 for the Metro kids. And the Northern kids just cannot deal with loss. They can't deal with losing, but they lost.
Tell me a hockey player that could.
I know.
I mean, there aren't very many of them. And now loose in the left corner, less than 90 seconds to go in the second period, and they'll play for it in the corner. Now a drop out to the point, and Kronberg plays it down, and it's going to come up the wall finally and out to center. Kronberg will flip it in and just miss the rafters as he does so. Now here's Hauser in the right corner. Going back behind the goal for Gerdes as we're just over a minute to go now. And they'll play around in the corner there. It comes towards the point and out to center. And now trying to burst through is Ballou for Rogers. Out to center. And here comes St. Thomas Academy. Mikan over the line takes the shot, and we get a face-off. 52 seconds to go in the period.
Knott has definitely settled in after a rough first period. He's played much better in the second period. I mean, the only goal he allowed was a pretty wicked tip by Mikan.
I mean, how many of the goals for St. Thomas Academy he really had a legitimate chance on? You picked 3 corners and a tip in.
The first one he should have had.
Okay.
But 2 and 3 he had no chance.
Smith-Connect up the near wing. DeShane over the line as he falls. Leaves a drop pass for Jensen, and up against the wall, Doshin wins it and clears it. Here comes Murray down the wing. Less than half a minute to go. And now Kurtz closing. Bouncing puck in front of the goal. And it's going to be cleared towards the right point and played back down. 20 seconds to go as the puck behind the net. Smith-Connect tries to play it up the wall, and it's relayed by DeShane out to center ice. And with 10 seconds left, Rogers picks it up, and here they come. Over the line, Jaden Kurtz over to Jensen, but it was behind him. Now a Centering pass, Jensen with 2 seconds to go, can't get it in the shooting position, and the second period comes to an end, and our score after 2 is St. Thomas Academy 4, Rogers 2. Shots in the second period, 10 for St. Thomas Academy and 5 for Rogers, so 24-11 after 2 periods of play. We can have another coach interview here at the...
We will go downstairs with Mark Strobel and Marissa Voss in just a minute. Before Marissa makes her way to Coach Strobel, we could just do a quick little breakdown. I don't think I saw much different from period number 1 to period number 2.
In terms of?
As far as shots on goal, chances, who's controlling play, all those things. I think it's...
I think Rogers did some small things better in that period. I think that they would pick up trailers better. They weren't leaving players open in vulnerable positions. But other than that, I think they're trying to find a way to turn up the pressure here on St. Thomas Academy. They're finding it hard, in my view.
Now, speaking of pressure, will Marissa Voss put the pressure on Coach Mark Strobel as we go into an interview down on the ice with Marissa and Mark?
Or 2 after 40 minutes. What do you have to do in this next period to keep the foot on the gas and come out victorious?
Yeah, we have to keep staying above their high guys. You know, they're looking for stretch passes. You can see when they get possession, they just want to stretch a guy up the middle. We got to keep everything in front of us, make sure we're coming back with F3 high and good sticks to deflect and not give them clean chances. I see their D are jumping in the rush all the time. So, again, our defense will create our offense, but we got to work our tails off from the tops of the circles and their end all the way back to our zone. Our forecheck, and our D zone has been good. It's got to be great.
All right, thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to head it back to the sponsors. You're going to head you to break to hear from our lovely, lovely sponsors. Thanks, guys.
Everyone knows Luther does it all, but did you know you can do it all? At home?
I just sold my car.
On your phone?
I just got pre-approved. I just scheduled an oil change.
Whenever, wherever.
I just bought a new car.
Anything and everything, whenever and wherever. LutherAuto.com. You can do it all.
Is your business ready to tackle today's IT and cybersecurity challenges? At Cyber Advisors, we specialize in keeping companies secure and running smoothly. From proactive cybersecurity solutions to 24/7 IT support, we're here to help. Visit cyberadvisors.com/hockey for a free discovery call.
They'll tell you, if you stay and play high school hockey, you won't make it to the next level. They rarely talk about how special it is to play for your community. To represent where you came from, to wear your school's colors, working one-on-one with coaches, and best of all, playing with your best friends. It can be difficult to know if you're hitting the mark. But when you're hitting the mark, you'll know. Custom hockey jerseys proudly made in the USA.
Second intermission here at Bloomington Ice Garden. St. Thomas Academy leading Rogers 4-2, the number 6 team in Class 2A, the Cadets, with the lead over top-ranked Rogers. The Royals got an early goal from Mason Jensen in the second period, but STA comes right back. A goal credited to Peter Murray, according to our eye in the sky. Michael Mikan probably should have been credited with that one. I've got Tony Scott here. Tony, what are you seeing out there in the second frame?
I'm seeing more of the same. Other than a quick burst in the first 3 minutes from Rogers, I felt like St. Thomas, you know, they made the cleaner plays. They're getting the shots on goal. They're making the plays that Rogers needs to make in the third period.
And it also feels as though St. Thomas Academy is getting contributions from players other than Will Doshin and Jackson Rude. Michael Mikan gets a goal. Peter Murray's got one. Is that the difference right now?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's almost like you were listening to the broadcast, because I kept saying that. It feels like the Jensen, DeShane, Weiss line is tired. Just if you saw the end of the second period there, their shift, they were dog tired at the end of the period there. They had a couple opportunities. They just didn't have anything left. Coach Brown has to play them more than he probably wants to at this stage of the game in order to make the game competitive. He's not getting production from line 2 and line 3 right now. What that's either going to mean is they're going to need to rest, go heavily on line 1, or he's going to have to get some scoring from a Gertis or Kurtz up front from the back end from Rogers.
There's an old baseball saying, walks will haunt. St. Thomas Academy unable to score on the power play late in the second period. Tony, will that come back to haunt the Cadets?
I don't think so, not yet. What has to happen is Rogers needs to be aggressive enough where they can draw a penalty and put their power play up against St. Thomas's penalty kill.
Now, the score is the score, but St. Thomas Academy out shooting the Royals by nearly a 2-1 margin. What gives with the shot count?
It's crisp passing. I mean, it keeps going back to how well they're moving the puck compared to Rogers. Rogers still pretty sloppy on both ends of the ice.
Still sloppy on both ends of the ice. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with our intermission show continuing after a word from our sponsors.
They'll tell you, if you stay and play high school hockey, you won't make it to the next level. They rarely talk about how special it is to play for your community. To represent where you came from, to wear your school's colors, working one-on-one with coaches, and best of all, playing with your best friends. It can be difficult to know if you're hitting the mark. But when you're hitting the mark, you'll know. Custom hockey jerseys proudly made in the USA.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. You here to pick up my truck?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that was easy. Yeah, I knew Luther buys cars, but I had no idea it was this simple and convenient. Is there anything you guys don't do?
Not really.
Will you buy any car?
Yeah.
Even that one?
Even that one.
Wow, you do it all.
Luther Auto, over 40 locations and one of the region's largest inventories. Luther Auto, we do it all.
They'll tell you,
Continuing along with our intermission show
if
here,
you
getting
stay
a
and
little
play
more
high school
insight out
hockey,
of the hockey genius known as Tony Scott. Tony, where is Rogers going to find some scoring? Are they going to have to rely on some of these defenders that we've been talking so much about?
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to come from Gertis. Gertis hasn't really had a grade A opportunity tonight. I saw him last week against Shakopee. He had 2 or 3 great chances. We're going to need to see some more opportunities out of those guys. Hauser, Sorrentino, Kurtz. Those guys are going to have to really step up to support if they're not going to get that offensive support from lines 2 and 3 from the Royals tonight.
Well, that's an excellent point. Brady Sorrentino is one of these experienced defenders. He's got a heavy shot. They might start to work it to him at the top of the point and let him let fly with that shot. Do you anticipate any defensive changes for St. Thomas Academy? Do they go into a shell or do they just keep the foot on the gas pedal?
I would have the foot on the gas the entire game. I mean, the way they've played, I wouldn't change a thing the way they've been playing. I wouldn't go in any shell if I'm Coach Strobel.
Now, this might be a little bit of a down-the-road baseball here, but does St. Thomas Academy take over the number 1 spot in Class 2A if they can defeat top-ranked Rogers tonight?
I think that's a bit of a stretch. They need another big win inside the top 10, but they'll definitely be inside the top 3, I promise. Carl East from our rankings will move him into the top 3 with a win tonight.
Let's hear about the goalies for a moment here. Cody Neeson and Wyatt Knott. They both seem to be playing decently well. Obviously, the shots are outweighed one way more than the other. What have you seen out of the goaltenders tonight?
I commented in the second period. I thought Wyatt Knott had a much better second period. He settled down, and the only goal he allowed was an immaculate tip by Mike Mikan. Say that 10 times.
Mike Mikan. Well, hopefully the Rogers power play for the Royals can continue, the penalty kill, to be as good as it has, because if they give up another power play here against St. Thomas Academy, it might be lights out for the Royals.
Jeff and I were talking before in the second period that the next goal in this game is absolutely paramount, because if at 5-2, Rogers is not coming back.
Yeah, and if Jeff Papis says it, it is 100% gospel. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with period number 3 after a word from our sponsors.
They'll tell you, if you stay and play high school hockey, you won't make it to the next level. They rarely talk about how special it is to play for your community. To represent where you came from, to wear your school's colors, working one-on-one with coaches, and best of all, playing with your best friends. It can be difficult to know if you're hitting the mark. But when you're hitting the mark, you'll know. Custom hockey jerseys proudly made in the USA.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. You here to pick up my truck?
Yes.
Wow, that was easy. Yeah, I knew Luther buys cars, but I had no idea it was this simple and convenient. Is there anything you guys don't do?
Not really.
Will you buy any car?
Yeah.
Even that one?
Even that one.
Wow, you do it all.
Luther Auto, over 40 locations and one of the region's largest inventories. Luther Auto, we do it all.
Back at Bloomington Ice Garden for the start of the third period. First Friday night ice of the 24-25 high school hockey season. We await the arrival of the officials and the teams. It's 4-2 St. Thomas Academy after 2 periods. Jeff Papis with you. We're joined by Tony Scott momentarily. Goals for St. Thomas Academy: Candon, Dojan, Murray, and Mikan. 4th goal on the tip in at the 2:12 mark of the second period. Rogers goals for Deshane and Jensen. And now Rogers takes the ice. You see the Royals, number 1 ranked in the state with 3-0, coming into this contest, but with a lot to do in the third period. They've only had 11 shots in 2 periods against the St. Thomas Academy team. It was supposed to be an offense-defense matchup, but we didn't know that the roles would be reversed through 2 periods, as St. Thomas Academy has been the team that has been airtight or nearly on defense. As the Cadets now take the ice, let's take a look at the upcoming schedules for these teams. For St. Thomas Academy, they will host Simley next Thursday. St. Thomas Ice Arena. Then on Saturday it's Centennial. They're at Chanhassen on the 12th. And then Two Rivers at home on the 17th. We'll see them at the Dakota Ice Center Tradition Holiday Invitational. They'll play Lakeville North, they'll play Edina, and they'll play Moorhead. That's going to be a good tournament. That's a look for St. Thomas Academy. For Rogers, they will be at Armstrong Cooper on the 5th, at Champlain Park on the 12th. They play Stillwater on the 14th at Rogers Arena. Then Sartell and Stillwater, number 10, in the Let's Play Hockey poll this week. But then their holiday tournament is the Premier Holiday Classic in the Plymouth Ice Center. They play Lakeville South, Minnetonka, and Wayzata, so that'll also be a good tournament. And Tony, just to update you, Wayzata and Rockridge are 2-2.
We're all over that Iron Range game, aren't we? Hibbing won on the range today.
They did.
They beat a Metro-ish team in St. Cloud.
Yep.
So.
And we're going to go to the Memorial Building, of course, for the last Friday night ice, and that's going to be so much fun.
Yes,
I have always loved that building.
Hibbing in Hermantown. Looking forward to that one. January 17th.
17th, I think, yes.
Hibbing's going to play Friday night ice on the 17th and Hockey Day on the 25th. Quite a week for the Blue Jackets.
Not a bad week, no.
Scoring correction on St. Thomas Academy's 4th goal.
And they've given the goal to Mike, and now they're announcing the change in scoring on the fourth goal, which we saw with our own eyes. Now a centering pass as Mason Jensen came in from the little interchange there. Now back comes Nico Russ playing it ahead, and now Rogers will start to try to hit flyers here. A pass down the wing, and it is going to be icing as Jensen unable to get to it 32 seconds into the third period.
Now, how much energy does this top line have? We'll see.
Yeah, it'll be.
Because they look gassed at the end of that second period.
Oh, you almost have to shorten your bench when you're behind this team. Certainly, this St. Thomas Academy team, and they have had to do that. Now from the draw, here's Gertis ringing the net for Rogers, and he plays it ahead into the zone. So in the first minute of the third period, Kurtz back behind the goal for St. Thomas Academy, looking for Root up the wall, can't get there. And now it does come out to center finally. And finally, the Royals will play it in. And Jensen to the far boards, and then he goes straight for the front of the net. Now back behind, he's got it in the corner. Jensen spins and shoots and puts it wide, and it winds up coming into the corner on the far side. Doshin after it, and then he lost out, and here's Deshane with it. And then he tries to throw it back in front. Deshane poking away, and now it comes to Nolan Gertis at the left point. And a drop pass. Gertis shoots, and it might have gone off the goaltender's glove, but anyway, it goes off the glass to the near side. And finally picked up by St. Thomas Academy, and they play it on into the zone as they get a change. Minute and a half gone in the third period. Long pass to center, picked up, and Vukic can't control it cleanly, and it goes into the zone. Now off the wall, and here's Rude in control, and he is taken in against the boards. Cleared back behind the net on the far side, and Kronberg plays it ahead, and it comes out to center. Now rink wide back into the Rogers zone. Sorrentino there. Vukic on the near wall. Then lost possession, and it's shot wide by Lane Powers to the far side. And now behind the net, Pedri for St. Thomas Academy. Centers and left open in the slot was Powers, and his shot was blocked. And now picked up by Sorrentino. And they try to clear. Tony, how... maybe we'll wait till the stoppage before I ask you that. But Sorrentino at center will play it ahead into the zone. And right back out, Richardson at center. Now into a grouping of players in front of the benches. And after it and picking it up. I'm going to go ahead and ask you now, what do dead legs do to defensive play as the puck shot down the ice?
Wow, that's a good question. So if you got dead leg, yeah, you're not going to be able to back check. You're not going to be as crisp on the other side of the ice as well. So you got to have quick, short shifts in order to stay fresh. And if you're not fresh, you're going to end up losing at some point.
And so
battles or something along the lines.
So the conundrum then is when you're short bench, you're skating a short bench because you're behind, keeping those shifts short, and when you need your best players on the ice,
the hill just gets steeper.
The balance,
right?
Yeah.
But you know, as anyone who's covered so much sports as you had, Jeff, in all these years, is one goal, all of a sudden the fatigue goes away.
It does. That's a good point. And now at center, here's Gus Olsen angling across the line to the far side, throws it in front, and the linesman fell down, and he's going to be buying beer afterwards.
Oh yeah, at least a case.
Now here's a shot, and Mikan puts one point blank towards the goal. And now a drop to the right point, closing in. Olsen takes the shot, that's wide, and the Royals control the rebound. And here's Kotke nursing it to center ice. Now Branton backhands it in and heads for the bench as they get a change in the top unit back out. Still no shots on goal in the third period for Rogers. And now it's cleared to center ice. And here's Murray turning, playing it ahead. And now Russ over the line. Nico Russ into the corner. Gertis chasing after him. And now Jensen comes to help out, but they can't clear the zone. Kurtz rink wides, and it does come out to center. Cronin will then play it back in, knocking it down.
Kurtz cleared the zone for him.
He did. And now Doshin throws a hit against Gertis along the wall. And now Rogers trying to carry it out, can't turn it over, and they score! Jackson Road, and taking advantage of the turnover in the offensive zone, and he puts it right through the 5-hole, and it's 5-2.
That's the turnover that's happened a lot tonight. on both ends of the ice for Rogers. And this time, Jackson Rood, who we've talked about a lot already in this broadcast, buries another one. And guess where it was, Mr. Pappas?
It was up high, wasn't it?
Right below the crossbar.
I thought it was down low, but that was after bar down. So Rood scoring the goal, and we're going to get a penalty here.
Now Rood's going to the box for an elbow.
Fourth goal for Rood.
Elbow.
2:12 is the time.
Maybe things will loosen up a little bit here.
Well, Rogers will get some open ice.
It's their first power play of the night, isn't it, Mr.
Yep,
Pappas?
it is. And their power play is 0 for 5 on this season. St. Thomas Academy 5 for 5. Again, small sample sizes for both of those. You would expect Rogers would score a power play goal sometime this season.
I would guess. There are some very crazy empirical numbers on power play percentages and state championships. It's crazy. If you look at Edina's numbers over the years.
Yep. Now a centering pass, backdoor, they score, and there's their power play goal. And boy, that was almost a must-have as Deshane is there on the back post to lay it in, and it's now 5-3.
And we're right back to square one. But 4 minutes and 31 seconds into the period.
And that's just a layup for Deshane. 4:31, and Rogers is within shouting distance here, but
you can tell he had been doing his mic and drills, right?
He has been doing his mic and drills.
Said layup, right?
I did. Well played.
St. Thomas Academy penalty had been assessed to number 4, Jackson Rood, a 2-minute minor for elbowing. Time of that penalty, 4 minutes and 12 seconds.
All right, now the puck played into the Rogers zone. Stop made by Knott. Power play goal for Deshane is fourth. Second of the night.
How much to see who got that pass to Deshane? It happened so quickly.
Rogers goal scored on the power play by number 11, Parker Deshane. Assisted by number 7, Mason Jensen.
Oh, go
Jensen.
figure. Jensen.
Would never happen before.
Is anybody shocked?
Now Sinclair goes behind the goal for Rogers. They're within 2 with 12 minutes to go. And now a pass up the middle. Sundberg can't control it cleanly and tips it into the zone. And Rogers will go back for it. Now back in the left corner there is Olsen. He goes around behind the net. And the Cadets will clear. Come back into the zone. A race for it here. Sorrentino will get there first. And there's going to be a penalty coming here against Rogers. Oh, there isn't. Oh, my. I would have sworn there was a penalty coming there as Camden had his stick slashed out of his hands as he was going after that icing. Now here comes Rogers back, and here's Keaton Weiss over the line. He puts it towards the net, and a save made by Neeson.
He's trying to saucer that one, and he just fanned on it.
And we're going to take a break here with 11:21 to go in the third period. It's 5-3 St. Thomas Academy on Friday Night Ice on the Youth Hockey Hub.
They'll tell you, if you stay and play high school hockey, you won't make it to the next level. They rarely talk about how special it is to play for your community. To represent where you came from, to wear your school's colors, working one-on-one with coaches, and best of all, playing with your best friends. It can be difficult to know if you're hitting the mark. But when you're hitting the mark, you'll know. Custom hockey jerseys proudly made in the USA.
Back at the Bloomington Ice Garden, 11:21 to play in the third period. St. Thomas Academy leading Rogers 5-3. And they have not trailed in this game. The Cadets have. We'll get a face-off in their zone to the left of Cody Neeson, who has allowed 3 goals on 13 shots.
Feels like St. Thomas has had Rogers at arm's length the entire evening.
Yes, I was just going to say that, as a matter of fact. Great minds think alike. Here's a chance in front, and a good save by Neeson on Mason Jensen as he dragged the puck across the slot. Another stoppage.
I don't know statistically his exact statistics, but Cody Neeson had some great stats this fall in the high school elite league. Like he was the top goaltender in the entire league statistically.
Now from the draw, it's Kurtz playing it around behind for Rogers. And DeShane. Now the puck played out to center and down to the glove by Kurtz. Smith connect with it with 11 minutes to go. Pass up the middle, and DeShane has drawn a penalty. He went down with the puck outside the blue line. There's going to be a tripping call against St. Thomas Academy and another power play for Rogers.
I don't like that call at all. I thought DeShane blew a tire. But, hey, it's going to make this hockey game more interesting.
Cheslock for tripping. He didn't argue. 4:03 is the time. And power play number 2 for Rogers. And if they pop one here,
things get interesting, don't
it
they?
Sure could. DeShane on for the faceoff, and it's cleared around behind on the near side. Gertis can't hold. And now it's played between him, and he doesn't have momentum. He goes down on a hit by Doshin. And now Rogers back over the line. Here's Jensen closing. Threw it and cross, and a chance for Cheslock. And he put it wide. Now cleared to center ice. Gertis now back on his feet, waiting, and the zone entry didn't quite work out there. Now here's a steal, and Rude takes a shot, and a pad save by Knott. Puck comes ahead, and here is Parker DeShane over the line, now to the near side. And this is Jensen. Over to the left, Gertis at the left point. 7 assists in the first 3 games of the season for Rogers. Now to the right point, DeShane. And he lost it. And down the near wing, here comes Rude. He's over the line, and he puts on the brakes, realizing he's shorthanded and will rag the puck. For a few seconds, he threw it up the slot. Oh, and a chance and a penalty coming on Gertis as, boy, St. Thomas Academy's Russ came right up the slot, and nobody picked him up. Finally, Gertis had to take him down, and there goes the power play for the Rogers Royals.
Quite an eventful shift for Jackson Rude there, right? So
yes.
He breaks a stick, goes and gets another stick, comes back down, breaks up the power play, and almost sets up a game-sealing goal to Nico Russ.
The action follows him around. And now here comes Rogers back as we're 4 aside for 54 seconds. Just a little bit of open ice for him. Now here's Smith connect at the right point. And now he tries to backhand it ahead. And it's picked up and played back into the Rogers zone, and that'll be icing.
It was a fun 60 seconds while it lasted. It's 5-3. The Jensen, DeShane, Brock, Cheslock trios up front, zipping it around, making things happen. I'm like, oh, we're going to get a goal. This place is going to get interesting. And then Jackson Rude just crashed my party. Thanks a lot, Mr. Rude.
You know, all it takes is just one lapse in concentration to just turn everything around.
And it was DeShane up at the top of the circle where he's probably not that comfortable as a forward. He turned it over at the blue line.
And now with 28 seconds in the 4-on-4, Rogers back. And over the line is Bellew, and he takes a wide backhanded shot, and it comes around to the near side as he missed the net. Back out to center for Smith Connect with 15 seconds left in 4-on-4. Smith Connect now is forced back, feeds over to the near side for Kurtz as they're going to be shorthanded in 10 seconds. Now a pass to the left, and Smith Connect over the line, and he golfs it in deep. And St. Thomas Academy will go to the power play for 59 seconds now as the puck played up the near wing and now controlled by Rogers and Brady Sorrentino. They'll wait for the forechecker to come on to him and then play the puck past Russ and all the way down the ice. 45 in the power play, and here's Mikan with a goal tonight. And so far it's the game-winning goal as it's played back into the Rogers zone. Hauser going back in the left corner will get there first. Around on the near side, Brownshausen holds it on the wall, drops to Mikan at the left point. Now across to Rude. He closes, he shoots, he scores! Might have gone off somebody in front, but it's a power play goal, and it's 6-3 now for St. Thomas Academy with 8:25 left.
Rude found Doshin. Doshin tipped it home, and that ices it here.
You look at the replay, and there it is. You're exactly right. Doshin with a deflection. That is his second of the game, 7th of the season. And your man Rude
All
with the
over.
assist.
He's been everywhere tonight, including the penalty box.
That's true. Well, you don't get Gordie Howe hat tricks at this level, but you can see a goal, an assist, and a penalty.
He's getting close. He's got 2 assists, I think.
Assisted by number 4, Jackson Rude, and number 13, Mike
Mikan getting the second assist on a power play goal by Doshin at 8:35. 6-3 now, St. Thomas Academy. And now played down the wall. And here's Tommy Kurtz in the corner, back around behind the net with just under 8 minutes to go. And the puck tipped all the way down the ice, and that will be icing against Rogers. But Wyatt Knott hit for 6 goals on 29 shots tonight.
Yeah, he's getting lit up pretty good. Those deflections in front are the hardest ones to save.
2 tip-ins and 4 corners on him. They have done their homework, St. Thomas Academy has, and that is shown on the scoreboard. And now picked up and played rink wide. Going to be held in there on the line by Weiss, who plays it around behind the goal. DeShane centers it. Jensen with a poke at it, loose at the left edge, and the puck will roll towards the high slot, and now Rogers throwing it back behind the net, where it's controlled by Richardson.
At the can there in front.
And now the puck cleared all the way down the ice, right on goal. And Sinclair comes around behind. Out to center. Rogers trying to get forward. Sorrentino will carry it down the far wall and then left it there. And Powers clears, and that will go all the way down the ice for an icing call. They wave it off. Now played out to center as I regain the use of my left lung, and now it's played down behind the goal, and a centering pass is smothered by Neeson. Face off with 6:53 left, and it's now 6-3.
Jensen had a couple really good opportunities there. Two rebounds off his own shot, and Neeson came up big on both of them.
Well, he brought his A game, and I think most of the St. Thomas Academy players have. See what you made me do.
I know. It's cold in here. I asked Greg Tinty, our producer, if we were actually broadcasting an outdoor game because it's so cold in here.
Well, it's warmer than it is outside, which is the good part. My goodness me. Now, here's Smith Connect in the right corner. 6:35 to go, and a pass up the middle. And over the line comes Cheslock. Goes wide, looks to center it, and can't get it there. Now, played out to center, and here is a race for it over the line. And picked up there by Murray, tried to throw it in front, and now played down by Kurtz into the corner. Centering pass, and it's deflected off the skate of Jaden Kurtz, and Knott was very quick to keep that out of the net.
Yeah, that one went off of a skate in front, and Mikey would have gotten his second goal of the day. Big save by Knott on that one.
It was the defenseman Kurtz. And obviously you never mean to do that, and the goaltender bailed him out. So a face-off to the right of Wyatt Knott. Jackson Rudon, and he, as you mentioned, has been everywhere. There's Gertis behind the goal for Rogers. Pass over to the far side, and it comes on out to center. Near side, Doshin tries to scoop it ahead, and now Rogers back. Branton feeding to the right. Now it winds up going behind the net. Branton hustling after it, but Richardson is there first. And now the Cadets play up the middle and out to center. Over the line, and Hauser will track it down in front of the goal. Banks it off the wall to center ice. Sundberg over the line for Branton. And Branton tried to return it in front, and it goes out of play. We're going to face off with 5:38 left now, and we'll take a break. Here from Bloomington Ice Garden, it's 6-3, St. Thomas Academy, Friday Night Ice on the Youth Hockey Hub.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. You here to pick up my truck?
Yes, sir.
Wow. That was easy. Yeah, I knew Luther buys cars, but I had no idea it was this simple and convenient. Is there anything you guys don't do?
Not really.
Will you buy any car?
Yeah.
Even that one?
Even that one.
Wow. You do it all.
Luther Auto, over 40 locations and one of the region's largest inventories. Luther Auto, we do it all.
There you look at the benches. 5 minutes, 38 seconds to go. You're right back here tomorrow night. Don't forget, for the opener at 7 o'clock, it'll be Holy Family taking on Roseville. The Raiders and the Fire going at it. We'll have it here for you on the Youth Hockey Hub as we get the new season off to a flying start. I think if there's one thing we've learned so far, Tony, is that anybody can beat anybody else. We saw that a lot last year. We're seeing it again this year. Face-off coming up to the left of the Cadets' goal. 5 minutes and 38 seconds to play. And from the draw, winds up behind the goal. And Kurtz plays up the wall. Gertis at the left point holds, now throws it across for Hauser. He takes a shot, and it went up in the air, not high enough to get out of play. And Gertis back out at center has it for Rogers, and he'll play it back in. Off the glove of the goaltender, Cody Neeson, and back behind. Just over 5 minutes to go now. It comes up the wall. And finally tipped out to center where Hauser has it. Now played on in. Cleared around to the near side and banked out. Loose at the Cadet line. Finally dropped back deep into their zone. Long pass, and Hauser picks it off. Rink wides it into the zone, played out of the air by Cronin. Banked off the wall, and Hauser in control. And they fan on the outlet pass. Brownshausen cuts towards the slot, and then it's picked away by Vukic, who clears to center. Deschene lost it in the skates of K-Waters, and now he'll backhand it ahead and deep into the Rogers zone behind the goal. Cleared to the far side for Cheslock, and he tips it on out to center ice, and here comes Deschene. Over the line, Jensen trailing. Deschene fires, he's over the top. Comes towards the right side, and Gertis there at the right point looking to hold it in, and it's in the high slot. Here's a one-time shot by Deschene that goes wide. Now out to center ice, chopped at by Kurtz, but carrying on Mikan over the line to the circle. Toe drag takes the shot, and then it went behind the net, and he was put on his pants, the seat of his pants, by Jaden Kurtz. And now over the line comes Rogers, and in deep. Jensen trying to squeeze in a tight angle shot. Under 4 minutes left now, and the puck to center. Olsen has it poke checked off his stick, played ahead by Kotke, but there's no runner there. And now back into the Cadet zone, long pass up the middle, and it's past Ocean, and that'll be icing. And we got 6 skaters on the ice for Rogers. They pulled their goaltender with 3.5 minutes to go.
I love it. Let's go for it, right? Like, you can't bring you can't bring the timeouts with you. You can't bring the goals with you. Let's go.
No, you can't. 3:39 left, and it's a 6-3 game. The goaltender, Wyatt Knott, is out. And the puck comes to center. It's past Smith Connect, but carrying on is Sundberg. Rink wide to the near side for Jaden Kurtz. Out to center. And Ocean picks that one off. And he drops it back in the zone deep. And there's a shot at the empty net. Wow. Bullseye. Kronberg with the goal with 3:19 to go into the empty net, and it's 7-3.
That was beautiful. What a shot by Kronberg. That was about 119 feet. Right down the pipe.
And at 13:41, it is now 7-3 for St. Thomas Academy. Doshin should get an assist on that. They dropped it back to him.
Now who's the player of the game? Doshin with 2, 3, 4 points, or is it still Jackson Rude with 2, 3, 4 points?
You know what? Impact on the game? I'd go with Rude.
Same.
Myself. Not to say that 4 points is not an impact on the game, but
no.
Very special game. And the goaltender back in now. Here's a centering pass is behind Deschene with 3 minutes left. Now Deschene plays it down the wall, And a centering pass in front and hitting the outside of the net was Hauser as he crashed in, set up neatly by Jensen. Now from the right point, no, it didn't, as I thought that was home as Deschênes took the shot, and the referee says no, it hit the post. And now here's a backdoor centering pass for Deschênes, and a shot, a save and a rebound, and Deschênes and another stop by Neeson.
It's incredible how well they move the puck, isn't it?
Yes, it sure is. Now here's Rogers gaining possession through Mason Jensen. 2.5 minutes to go, and now Jensen back in front for Deschênes going in, and he is steered behind the net by Cronin. Now loose, and Rogers trying to hold the zone as it's picked up there by Mikan along the far boards. And now played towards the front of the net.
And here come the overrated chants from the St. Thomas Academy fans.
Well, they can do it. They've scored the goals tonight. 2 minutes left. And now Hauser played behind the net and lost possession, and now loose along the near wall, and here comes Geerdes back. Leaves a pass to the middle, and now here's Jensen getting over the line, but not much farther, but now carrying on. Hauser centering pass, and it winds up to the left point, held in, and the shot by Jensen goes wide of the net, comes to the right point, and Sorrentino will hold across to the far side with 90 seconds to go. Centering pass for Sundberg looking to tip, and he put it wide. Now it winds up behind the net, and Royals buzzing here. Centering pass, Sorrentino shoots. Now controlled by Blake Sinclair, and back out to center ice as Rogers. It's one more change, and now here is Sorrentino, stood up at the blue line and controlled finally by Connor Sundberg. Now over the line, the Royals in. Here's a shot, and the goaltender reaching there as Cheslock missed it wide as we hit the last minute of play. And now banked off the wall to center, and Sorrentino can't get there, and it's picked up by Blake Sinclair out to center. And the Royals back in over the line. Cheslock, and it's played up the slot, trying to close in there. Sorrentino knocked off his stick. Smithconnect will play it down low with 40 seconds to go. Comes around to the near side and finally played across D to D. Smithconnect tees it up, takes a shot, save Neeson, rebound loose at the right edge and steered behind the net. And now with 25 seconds to go, they'll play for it in the corner. Comes to the hash mark. Here's a shot and a save made off Sorrentino. Bank pass, and Sorrentino again. This time he can't hold it as his stick's being lifted, and now here comes Murray back centering, and it's off of Rude and wide. Sharp angled shot from behind the net, and the goaltender had to be quick there to trap the puck with 8 seconds to go. Good win for St. Thomas Academy tonight, on any question about it.
All three lines of St. Thomas Academy were contributors tonight.
The players tangled up there in the corner after the last interchange, so we'll get a face-off. Face-off with 8 seconds to go to the left of the goal.
And that'll do it, right?
It sure will, as Cheslock will bank it off the wall, and carrying to center is Sundberg, and Rogers is soundly defeated for the first time this season. The final score is 7-3. One of those goals, an empty net goal. St. Thomas Academy winds up with 32 shots on the night. They get 8 in the third period, and Rogers with 10 in the third period. And they wind up with a game total of 21, and our player of the game is Jackson Rude, who came in with 9 points, led the team in scoring coming into this game, and he scored a goal and had 2 assists. He set up goals by Murray and Doshin, so now he's got 12, but a very effective game for him.
Well, the reason I think you and I chose him wasn't necessarily the points on the board or points on the score sheet, but what he did in between the goals is what changed the game. From a intensity, from a momentum perspective, Jackson Rude was the name we called the most tonight from St. Thomas.
And he had a terrific game. St. Thomas Academy is 3-0. Rogers is 3-1. And we mentioned there earlier where these teams are going, but a solid win for St. Thomas Academy tonight. They didn't have the strength of schedule that Rogers had coming in, but boy, they had it where it counted tonight, and Rogers will learn from this. Absolutely.
I learned a lot about Rogers tonight, and one of those things is how good that top line is going to be, but they're going to need to get scoring from lines 2 and 3 for them to be successful.
All right. And I think that'll do it here for us for the first Friday night ice of the season, but we have an interview on the field. Jackson, on the field, on the ice. I am getting rid of it. Football's over now. Come on, give me a game or two to get into this. Now, Jackson Rood, the player of the game, is on the ice.
Good. Ice side here with Jackson Rood, who is the player of the game as STA defeats the Rogers 7-3. Now you had 1 goal, 2 assists on your game. Talk about the level of play that you had on the ice and just a huge win for you guys.
Yeah, it was a good team win. I couldn't have done without my teammates, that's for sure. Everyone went lines 1 through 4, and the whole team, Cody, Nice, great game, great couple saves, and yeah, a whole team effort.
Talk about how you guys never let Rogers really into this game. A dominant performance from when the puck was dropped until the play was dead and you guys won.
Yeah, I think we're just relentless, and we work on this. We want to be conditioned. We want to be the best conditioned team, and I think we're starting to prove that.
Talk about your level of play a little bit, right, like on the ice. I know it's a we game, but talk about me for a little bit.
No, it's a team game always. Yeah, like I said, my teammates, Stojan and Murray, they helped me out. It's not just me. Yeah.
All right. Congratulations on the win, Jackson, and the rest of your season.
Thank you.
Back up to the booth, guys.
Everyone knows Luther does it all, but did you know you can do it all? At home?
I just sold my car.
On your phone?
I just got pre-approved. I just scheduled an oil change.
Whenever, wherever.
I just bought a new car.
Anything and everything, whenever and wherever. LutherAuto.com. You can do it all.
Is your business ready to tackle today's IT and cybersecurity challenges? At Cyber Advisors, we specialize in keeping companies secure and running smoothly. From proactive cybersecurity solutions to 24/7 IT support, we're here to help. Visit cyberadvisors.com/hockey for a free discovery call.
They'll tell you, if you stay and play high school hockey, you won't make it to the next level. They rarely talk about how special it is to play for your community. To represent where you came from, to wear your school's colors, working one-on-one with coaches, and best of all, playing with your best friends. It can be difficult to know if you're hitting the mark. But when you're hitting the mark, you'll know. Custom hockey jerseys proudly made in the USA.
Welcome to our post-game show, folks. Not a lot to say after that one. St. Thomas Academy with a dominant 7-3 win over previous number 1 Rogers. Tony Scott, the eye in the sky. Can you give me your general thoughts on the third period?
Well, I thought it was interesting. At 5-3, that for about 60 seconds there, Rogers had the puck.
Shocking.
And they had the puck, and they had it on the power play at 5-3. Okay, what happens next, right? They turn the puck over on the blue line on the power play, lose the power play, go to a 4-on-4, and subsequently Will Doshin gets a tip in off of a Jackson Rood shot and make it 6-3. Lights out. We should just close it off right there. Just unplugged everything. The game was over after that goal. And those are the two players of the game, really, Jackson Rood and Will Doshin. I run down to the box and say, I felt that Jackson Rood was the difference in this game. And Will had a great, fantastic game in his whole home rink here at Bloomington Ice Garden. But I thought Jackson Rood really had a coming out party tonight. People know who Jackson Root is now.
I believe Will Doshin was the player of the game last year
was.
when these two teams
Yes.
played in the opener. So another outstanding performance from the Bloomington native and Princeton commit. Will Doshin will run through a third period scoring recap here. Jackson Root scores for St. Thomas Academy. Parker Deshane answers for Rogers. And then Will Doshin and Cody Kronberg round out the scoring for St. Thomas Academy. The final shots on goal, 32-21 in favor of the Cadets. Was the third period everything you expected it to be?
Yeah, I don't think that either team did much different than period 1 and period 2. I thought that the discipline was on the Cadets side all night tonight. I thought the goaltending was better from Neeson than it was not tonight. I thought everything was the same. It was like each period was a carbon copy of one another.
St. Thomas's Stars come to play today. Will Doshin with 4 points and Jackson Root with 3 points. The Cadets will certainly ride that duo as they continue through the rest of the season. According to my notes here, STA came to play, obviously, judging by the scoreboard, and a new coaching staff is officially 3-0 with 3 big-time wins for the Cadets. It's safe to say that that tripod of coaches have introduced themselves well to the high school scene.
Absolutely. If you think about who those guys are, I mean, they all have a ton of experience, a lot of wins in their career, state championships in their career. I'm really excited to see where St. Thomas ends up by the end of the month, by the end of December. Like, where will they be? Because they're going to get punched in the chin a couple times, which, you know, whether it's in our tournament in Prior Lake or when they play Cretin Durham Hall, they're going to get some shots here in the next 30 days. It'll be fun to see where they are on January 1st.
The Cadets do play a very tough schedule, which is exactly what you want. You want to play hard teams. You're preparing for the playoffs here. We're not playing for an undefeated record. Not to mention the 3 coaches for St. Thomas Academy have great hair. By the way, I was able to discuss hair with Mark Strobel and Brian.
Well, he's
Murphy
got great.
today.
Yeah, they do. The whole staff does. I forgot about
I
that.
promise there's a point there. STA so polished from period 1 to period 3. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be back with our scoreboard show to wrap up tonight's broadcast after a word from our sponsors.
Some matzo pizzas are made in the heart of America's dairyland, Kaukauna, Wisconsin. Every brew pub pizza is made with the highest quality meat and veggie toppings. Then bombarded with over half a pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Snag a slice of brew pub pizza at the concession stand or enjoy a whole pizza conveniently located in the frozen pizza section of your local grocery store. Brew pub, lots of matzo pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Generally speaking, water is a better fluid to use to rehydrate with. A big part of the importance of hydration is hydrating before the race rather than during the race. So, you know, the hydration before a long distance race in particular really starts the day before the race, probably those 24 to 36 hours before the race to be completely hydrated.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. You here to pick up my truck?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that was easy. Yeah, I knew Luther buys cars, but I had no idea it was this simple and convenient. Is there anything you guys don't do?
Not really.
Will you buy any car?
Yeah.
Even that one?
Even that one.
Wow, you do it all.
Luther Auto, over 40 locations and one of the region's largest inventories. Luther Auto, we do it all.
Since 1933, 3 generations of Kozlaks have wined and dined Minnesotans with great food and impeccable service. Located in historic northeast Minneapolis, Jack's is open for happy hour, dinner, and a tasty weekend brunch. With a world-class bar and a spectacular outdoor patio, your dining experience will be both memorable and delicious.
Wrapping things up here at Bloomington Ice Garden. A few scores from around the state. We'll start at the boys high school level here in Minnesota. Minnetonka over Andover.
Gotta like
by
that.
a score of 3-2. Devin Berg, Ethan Sturgis, and Tyson Mahady. The goal scores for the Skippers. Brody Peterson and Luke Babineau with the goals for Andover. The Skippers graduate everything and are still finding a way to win games.
They don't rebuild. They reload.
What do they do? They reload.
They reload. Absolutely.
Is there a naval equivalent to reload? Well, I suppose cannons.
Yes.
Cannons.
Yes.
Cretin-Derham Hall leading Hermantown 3-2 the last I checked.
No,
in
3-3. Hawks scored
Is it
early in the
3-3?
third.
Okay.
3-3.
Well,
There you go.
I'm going to blame the shoddy Wi-Fi here at Bloomington Ice Garden. No offense, Bloomington Ice Garden. So Cretin-Derham Hall and Hermantown tied 3-3 in the third period. I've got 2 goals from Max Anderson and 1 from Alex Blado for the Raiders. Hibbing Chisholm, 6-3 over St. Cloud Cathedral.
2 number ones go down today.
2 number ones going down today. Hibbing Chisholm gets 2 goals from Hunter Gustafson and 1 apiece from Tate Swanson, Kellen Elsner, Whit Rewerts, and Ethan Sunval. Cathedral 0-1-1 to start the season.
Not a bad start, though. I mean, they played 2 good teams.
And we're gearing up again. We're gearing up for the postseason.
Absolutely.
Men's college hockey, Lake Superior State leading St. Thomas 3-2 in the third period, last I checked. Bemidji leading North Dakota 2-0.
That's a surprise.
Also in the third period, a little green and white battle there.
I was looking at the rankings today, Peter,
Okay.
and I saw North Dakota was 14th in the country and Bemidji State was not ranked.
It seems
and
a
I'm
bit
like,
low.
this doesn't seem right. North Dakota is not very good right now. They're just not. They're not having a very good season. I know you're a big UND guy, but they're not having a good season. That's the most inflated 14. I go, Bemidji's going to win 1, maybe win 2. And sure enough, if you listen to This Week in College Hockey, you would know a little bit more about college hockey. If you watch their shows, you would know that Bemidji is a really, really good hockey team.
Hockey genius Tony Scott. Our final college men's score of the evening, Alaska Fairbanks tying the University of Minnesota, final score of 1-1.
The Gophers tied them. It was actually 1-0 after one of Alaska. So actually Minnesota had the comeback tie in that one as well.
Call me crazy. I like to see some new blood.
Yes,
I like to see some new blood.
7 Minnesotans on that Alaska roster.
Well, it's a nice, not a bad way to spend 4 years living in Alaska and playing hockey and maybe getting paid for it.
If you like it dark out like right now, you'll love Alaska.
Well, it's going to be dark in the building momentarily. We're signing off from Friday night ice. St. Thomas Academy 7, Rogers 3. A fabulous evening if you're a Cadet fan, as Danny Ryan is walking towards us. Thank you so much from all of us here at YHH. We'll see you next week for East Ridge and Park Cottage Grove.
They'll tell you, if you stay and play high school hockey, you won't make it to the next level. They rarely talk about how special it is to play for your community. To represent where you came from, to wear your school's colors, working one-on-one with coaches, and best of all, playing with your best friends. It can be difficult to know if you're hitting the mark. But when you're hitting the mark, you'll know. Custom hockey jerseys proudly made in the USA.
With an injection, we're usually trying to minimize inflammation or block a nerve to prevent it from sending a signal somewhere that causes you pain. So we're not actually masking any of the symptoms or the problem, but we are trying to improve the inflammation or block the pain signal so that people can feel relief.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. You here to pick up my truck?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that was easy. Yeah, I knew Luther buys cars, but I had no idea it was this simple and convenient. Is there anything you guys don't do?
Not really.
Will you buy any car?
Yeah.
Even that one?
Even that one.
Wow, you do it all.
Luther Auto, over 40 locations and one of the region's largest inventories. Luther Auto, we do it all.